Okay, let's check.
Now I can say whatever crazy words I wanna.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't. It says it has an excellent
Let's see, do I
though.
get a notification?
We are...
Is my phone buzzed?
Live as live can be. Live as live can be, John.
Live as live can be.
Live as live can be.
Am I getting a notification? I've got the bell ring.
Oh, wow.
On my phone,
pretty good.
I have not gotten the notification. Hey, there it is. We're live now.
All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to hand this over to you, since you are...
Yes.
The picture boy.
I am indeed Totino Picture Boy.
Picture boy. Yep,
Oh, hey, we already got people in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, John and Tony. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Let me fiddle with my phone so it's not using as much data. There we are. Have a little bit of beer. Give it a minute as people join. It claims there's only one viewer. However, 5 people have already commented in the chat. 6 now. Okay.
Commented in the chat.
Thank you, David Silva, for making me wrong as I was saying it.
Mm-hmm.
You son of a...
What?
It tastes slightly skunkier, but it might just be something that was already in my mouth.
Yeah, it's probably that skunk.
How the hell are we? We're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Love to hear the stories. Yes. And right now we're just looking at a tire ad. We'll see if I can rush through all of Tokyo tonight.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit because on here, anyways, I'm mostly just this. So
yeah. Okay. All right. So we're just starting with, so we just dropped off. Actually, no, we're getting gas to drop off our car.
Oh, okay.
I apologize for being the first commenter. The things I have to say in the first comment are not the energetic spoils for men who need to keep a show going. And that is fine. I'm like sleeping or trying to notice that. It's all good. Hey, we all live on a time cube. I'm not sure which 4 consecutive Earth rotational days you're on right now. So, sorry if this isn't the perfect time for you. It was the perfect time for me. So, that's right. Selfishly, that's why we're streaming right now.
Yeah, well, we also shot like a little mini episode beforehand, too. Some hot topics.
And then
topics for us all.
I went a little late with dinner with my folks, and then I had to stop for a absolutely catastrophic pit stop, shall we say, because we're within the first 5 minutes of the video. So, had to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So I can't say anything too crazy. We're early on in the video. 7:55. Hey, you're Central Time.
Central Time.
Nice.
We are Eastern Time.
Are you a fib? You living in Chicago? Is that what it is?
Eastern Time is the Lord's time, but if Central Time's okay too, I guess. Whatever. I'm not gonna.
We won't hold it against
you necessarily for being in the wrong time zone, but what are you gonna do? Eastern
Time. Yeah. Oh, you're in Canada. Okay. I used to go to school with some people from Thunder Bay, so I know some Central Time Canucks. So yeah.
Canada's Northern Time. It's not Central.
Northern Time. Yeah, they should do it like China, where they're all on one time zone.
Mm-hmm.
That country's like insanely wide, and they're like, no, one time zone.
Yeah, unify.
Yeah, so like Tibet is on the same time zone as Beijing.
Yeah, it's
makes no sense at all. Yeah, Northern Time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what Northern Time is? Perfect time for red green. We have a new smart TV at the shop, and I discovered that it has a 24-hour live stream that is just constantly shuffling which episode of Red Green it's showing.
I don't even know what that is. I'm just going to assume it's some sort of adult film.
You've never seen Red Green?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't watch adult films.
The Windsor TV antenna would project Canadian TV out into southeast Michigan. So Detroit used to get a ton of Canadian TV. But yeah, Red Green was amazing at the time.
Okay.
Women won't always find you handsome. They sure will find you handy. Remember the great maxim, any tool's the right tool.
Okay.
Yeah, Possum Lodge, hell yeah. Well, I guess we can start
Yeah, we got a decent amount of people
jumping
already.
from one distant foreign land of Canada to another distant foreign land of, I almost said Jamaica. Japan.
Yeah, Canada's like, 15 minutes away?
Hey there. All right. So we were just filling the gas, dropping off our car because we arrived in Tokyo. And I just thought it was really funny that they had this, like, tie-in ad with this guy who is that one of the Ultraman guys? I can't remember. Somebody will correct me. Somebody will know.
Again, I don't watch adult films.
Like Sentai or whatever the hell genre that is. I can't remember. Red Green Show taught me any problem can be solved with duct tape. It's true. It is the handyman's secret weapon.
It is.
Oh, yeah. And this fabulous bumper sticker on a car. Being like, no Pokemon Go. You can't do that. Not while driving. Please stop. All right. So I thought this was really funny that they had like a Ghost in the Shell ad for Stop Terrorism, and it's 110 is the police emergency number to report suspicious activities or persons. Which I think is funny that they used an anime to represent this, because all the most interesting characters in anime always end up being terrorists. Like Gundam, like half those characters are terrorists.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yes, this wonderful little sign about like, hey, if you drop something, just tell a station attendant and he'll get this comedically long grabber hand to get it. Don't jump down there yourself. And an ad for one of the many gacha games. TJ was telling me that when he had first gone to Japan, when you'd go on the train, everybody would be reading the paper or a book or a magazine or something like that. And now every single person from every single age group was just on their phone doing some gacha shit.
Yeah.
Of some kind or another.
Yeah.
Nikkei, Blue Archive, Genshin Impact, all kinds of stuff like that. Just gotcha, you know. So I bought not laundry. I bought my luggage here at the Donkey in Gotanda because I stayed at a capsule hotel right there. And I forgot to get any of the I was gonna get a donkey hat for Don Pen, and I forgot to. And somebody came in to the shop 2 days ago, and he had it. And I was like, you reminded me, I forgot to get one of those. He's like, oh, well, I was just in Japan. I was like, oh, what days? It turns out we both went to the snow festival and just didn't bump into each other. We went into the same buildings within an hour of each other.
Wow.
Like just 2 ships in the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Well, I was on, so this is on the Yamanote line in Tokyo. They had just a little thing occasionally playing Splatoon news.
Mm-hmm. You had a question regarding fast food.
Did you go to McDonald's or any other fast food?
You mentioned in the last stream, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that hadn't tuned into that one.
I intentionally tried to avoid as many chains as possible, so I didn't go to like Coco Curry. I didn't go to Yoshinoya. I was like, I'm gonna save that stuff for next time, because I'm gonna be honest, I actually really don't like burgers. And like I've had McDonald's in plenty of different countries, and it pretty much all boils down to the same thing for me. Hello, sir. Thank you for referring to us as gentlemen, even though I believe that is a wildly inaccurate title for us.
Yes.
But thank you, regardless.
Watch your language, please.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Here it is, showing like the end of game map. I did think it was funny that a lot of people would be like,
I just got the push notification, by the way.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. So this was a hotel near a very fancy restaurant I went to, and I could not stop laughing because it's Hotel The Glands. I do believe it is actually a love hotel, so that is a very fitting name.
Got it.
Here's a very foreign burger company.
Never heard of that.
Yes. For most of us, what is it, east of the Mississippi, you'd know it as Hardee's. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, right? We should have more subscribers.
Oh,
you guys
share the
should
video,
all
like
just
the
make
video, all that good
hundreds of sock puppet accounts. And no, actually, commenting on it and stuff like that, it actually really does help the algorithm.
Liking,
so
commenting, sharing, all that good stuff is always very, very helpful. So if you feel that way, that is a good way to help spread the hard message.
Kidnapping your neighbors and holding them hostage and telling them that they need to watch us, that also helps us.
Sure.
Might not help you, though.
No, I can't necessarily recommend it, but...
Yeah. So this is a triple Michelin star restaurant that I went to.
So you went to Michelin Tires while you were over there?
It is
Triple
the same
Michelin
company
Tires.
that runs that.
Oh.
Because they started making little, like, guides.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
but they're
wow,
incredibly French, so they were like, we should really, really get picky about. So the way the star system was supposed to originally work was 1 star is if you're going through the town, check this restaurant out. 2 stars was if you're going near it, make a detour to check this place out. 3 was you should make a point of going to this place to have that. Everything else is secondary about that town.
Yeah.
If it's 50 miles out of your way, it's worth it.
Yeah. Wasn't there one that's like, you should go to this country specifically for this place? Or is
I mean, like,
star?
3 is basically... 3 is as high as it goes.
Oh, okay.
Although there are some weird things where you can't get to... you did what at Bass Pro Shops? A gentleman doesn't kiss and tell.
That's right.
So this place, a lot of it was more sort of traditional or historical Japanese food, but part of the reason it was so expensive was almost everything had. So this is a fish I cannot remember the name of, but that is fresh shaved black truffle that had just been flown in on top of it, and it was absolutely delicious. But good Lord, at the end of the meal, I think it was like $300.
Oh my God.
But like my average meal there was like $9 the whole time. So by the end of the trip, I was like, I am quite under budget. And TJ was like, hey, it's my birthday and my friend got this reservation. It's kind of expensive. And I was like, I've been paying peanuts for food. I thought I'd be paying $30 a meal the whole time I was here. And instead it was like 8 or 9. So I was like, deal. Let's do it. Here's
kind of expensive.
I believe this is like like some sort of like braised fish. It was eel.
Oh, okay.
And then some sort of I can't remember. I think that might be like a taro root mash or something like that. And then like this what would you call that? It's like tempura something. I cannot remember what was in there. And this was a really interesting little thing where it's like a soup. And it has like a little bit of like mochi or tofu that was at the bottom.
Okay.
It was very tasty. Looks putrid, but it had a very, very good smell, a very nice taste, very warm. We got some fresh mollusk in a delicious little soup here with some leek. A lot of the broths and stuff like that are quite delicate there. Often, like chicken broth will just be chicken. And then you might add 1 or 2 things as you cook it. But it isn't like here where it's chicken plus like these other 7 things to make chicken stock.
Yeah. I give 3 Michelin stars to John and Tony.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Here's another soup that had some tofu in it. We've got this. This was black truffle fried rice, and it was really, really good. And this is like a mixed pickle plate that was also very good. Japanese pickles. Also, Middle Eastern pickles are like one of my secret favorite things.
Not anymore. You just told everybody.
Good. I know.
You just told the whole world.
Caught in 4K. Actually, no, 1080. Okay, so this was the dessert. So it's like, what was this? Like slices of apple, strawberry, pomegranate. This is like honey, and this was like an ice cream, and the honey had, I believe, gold leaf and black truffle mixed in with it.
Very into the black truffle in this particular meal.
My God, was it tasty. Japan is psychotically obsessed with strawberries. But I was okay with that because I love a strawberry.
Oh, me too.
I am a complete strawberry slut.
Oh.
Here I am taking a photo of myself at the restaurant. It was kind of cool. The sink was designed to look like a little bird's nest with a little rock down there.
Is that the sink or the toilet?
That's the sink. No. This was the toilet, which of course has the little robotic washlet that lifts up and all that sort of stuff, which I desperately miss now. But yeah, the whole interior was like this super cool little thing. Oh yes, and as soon as we left, I saw this. This is an instant ramen vending machine.
Amazing.
You click on those and it'll be like, hold on. And it'll heat those broths and everything. And bam! And it'll just give you a bowl of ramen. And it's like, what is it? 650 yen for a small, 800 yen for a large. Which is nothing. I think 100 yen is 75 cents right now.
Wow.
Yeah. It's gone up a little bit since I went there. Here we are. This is TJ's friend, who we actually went to Alinea with in Chicago long ago. Actually, if you're looking for the washlet on top, you can convert any toilet you have as long as you have a plug. And they will usually charge you about $300 for that. Way cheaper than getting like the full Toto toilet, which are several $1,000s. For like $300, you can get like the fancy heated seat that has like a little like air filter and all this sort of automated fanciness to it, and self-clean mode and things like that. But did you go to the vending machine place without employees like only in Japan did years ago? No, I didn't see any of those. I did go into a whole bunch of different places, but it was always like mostly like Lawson's and Family Mart and stuff like that. But here we are headed to, I think, Shibuya. Yes, there's Shibuya. Because we wanted to go to this little coffee shop, which, Jason, that's who it is. That's who was in the last photo. He had recommended this place, and it was this beautiful little, like, Viennese-style coffee shop. They made me this absolutely fantastic little coffee, and then the strangest thing happened to me. A woman sitting next to me just lit a cigarette, started smoking it, was chatting with her friend, and it had such a different smell than I was used to. I did not recognize it as a cigarette until at one point I was like, it's like a faint burning paper, very vaguely pipe tobacco smell next to me. And I looked over and I was like, oh, she has a cigarette and she's smoking it. It wasn't like here where if you have like a Marlboro or a Camel or something like that, or like, God forbid, like some real cheap brand where you're just like, oh, God. But instead, no, it was like, that's actually, I am fine with that. That's good. Oh, and the little stirrer here was a piece of foil over a stick of cinnamon. Yes. So as you stir it, it would add cinnamon to the flavor. It was very good. Here's a little back street right next to that place. And it was all little like ramen shops and stuff like that. It was great. And here's the view from my capsule in Gotanda. I went to, it's spelled D-O-C, Gotanda. And it's Doshi Gotanda, is I believe how it's said. I am not part owner. I'm just a manager. Dan is the sole owner. But yeah, there was not a lot of storage for luggage. So if you had a bigger bag, sometimes you just shove it over here. So somebody was doing that. Like, you will literally never have somebody steal anything from you unless you're at like a crap hostel and there's like a foreigner who might grab some of it. Yeah. Here's the view the other way. Now, it might look like this is dirty. It's mostly just that they recently stripped the paint from the cement, and they're doing a little bit of it. So it was more sort of just a very Spartan thing. When I was there, it was in person. It does not actually look dirty. Something out of Blade Runner. A little bit. Here's the view out of one of the windows. Let's see. I believe this was a Love Hotel that's over there. I believe that is most certainly a Love Hotel. There's some little bars around here. There were a ton of Yakuza bouncers.
There's probably a brothel.
Or
no?
It's brothel's more. Love Hotel is like where you'll meet up with somebody, maybe. Okay. Or you might meet up with your girlfriend because rent is so expensive, often you don't have of like enough privacy, or perhaps your apartment has very thin walls, and perhaps the two of you had a very nice night out, and you'd like some privacy afterwards. So love hotels are not too expensive, and they're very well sound insulated, so you don't have to worry about like, can our neighbors hear us right now?
Yeah.
Which really can spoil the mood. I remember there was one time I was at a hotel with an ex, and there was a point where we both sat down on the bed and we were like, finally, a night to ourselves. And I just heard this and like a wrinkling of paper. And I realized it was just the guy in the next room clearing his throat and reading the newspaper. And I could hear him as if he was in my room. And I was like, maybe I should have paid a little bit more for this room. Ah, yes. Door swings outward. Please open with care. Yeah. So that was the doors in and out of like the bathrooms, being like, hey, careful, don't swing this. People are there. There it is. Footpick reveal. No, this is inside of my little capsule. Here's where there used to be a TV, but I think they're going to convert it to another kind of TV. But I had a little USB plug, and I had a little wall outlet. Interesting enough, today I saw someone selling some retro stuff, and he had an issue of EGM. Ooh, listed the price of the Ultra 64. Nice. I mean, I definitely have this on like fisheye, so the feet are gonna look really weird. But I was just trying to show, it's like, yeah, you have enough room where you can kind of like lean against the side and put your foot up like that. You've got a lot more room in these than you actually think. Because normally if you take a photo, it looks like this, and people are like, my God, it's a coffin. It really wasn't. Here's like this weird little, so it was two different themed hostess bars on top of one another with like these incredibly gaudy like bubbles.
Yeah.
I mean, not bubbles, balloons. And at night, they would have one hostess for each place up here, but I love the classy girls sign here. But if you look at this is like a master class in making the smallest building operate the best way you can. Because I believe the kitchen was the third floor in this incredibly narrow thing, and then they've managed to fit two bars in it, and each had a different concept. One was like the gamer zone, and one was like the space zone or something like that. If you just search Lucia Spica Gotanda, you'll find the website, and it will have very confusing wordage because you'll Google Translate it, and it was a...
Those hostess bars are so weird.
Yeah, I didn't go to one because it's like, listen, if I'm going to drink, it's going to be to get me drunk, not somebody else drunk. Yeah. If somebody else wants to get drunk, they can pay their own way, damn it. Here's like one of the like bars that's like, hey, all you can eat, all you can drink for this amount of time, and here's how to tip people and all this sort of stuff. Tipping. Somebody mentioned tipping in there. Most places will not take tips. There are some places that have started getting used to like, hey, if you're American, yeah, we'll take your tips, which is pretty funny. Oh, here's a washing. I'm sorry, this is a dry cleaner for your futon. So you open that door, you slide this machine in, you strap your futon onto it, you put in your stuff, it dry cleans it, and then it calls you when it's done.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, this was my favorite place. Oh, I love the little thing about like killing like dust mites and bed bugs and stuff like that. But yeah, there's how to operate it. But it was all, here's the washing and drying. So it shows you, by the way, it was an all-in-one washer and dryer that would weigh how much clothes were in there and then add its own soap. So you just threw your clothes in, pressed the button, and then it was like, would you like me to call you? You're like, yes, here's my number. And then it would just call your phone, you'd pick up, and it would start jabbering at you in Japanese, and you'd just be like, my laundry is done. It was amazing. It was the coolest thing. Here's two of my first gets. I actually have them just here. So I got Another Century's Episode R, And I got one of the Goemon games for PlayStation 1 because I'm a big Goemon fan. Goemon? I believe that's...
Goemon?
Yeah, I think it's Goemon. You can tell I'm such a big fan because I can't remember how to pronounce it. Yeah. Yeah, I want that washing machine. It was amazing. Oh, here's how Doshi Gotanda was done. So it's men's and women's floors.
Does this ever come out in the U.S.?
No, that
Is this
one.
like a platformer?
I don't know. Good question.
But looks like a 3D like adventure, like almost like the N64.
Yeah, a little bit more isometric, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that one's been translated, but I mean, but the women's levels were closed. Is it possible to eat the washing machine if you have large enough teeth? Maybe. And maybe if you're like a Wolverine and you have like one of those jaws that can never pop.
This would be very interesting.
Uh-oh. There it is. All right, so I'll set that there. So because there aren't as many women traveling right now, they were just renovating the women's floor. And here I am, putting my shoes on, about to leave. Somebody else is getting into their capsule. I was stuck with a second level one, and the heat was cranked up quite high. And I kept closing the vent in front of mine, and whoever was cleaning would be like, oh, no, this vent is supposed to be open. And as soon as I get back closed, people kept, like, opening the windows at night because they're like, my God, it's like 80 degrees in this place. So, like, I would just sleep above the covers, and I'd feel fine. But otherwise, I actually quite liked this place and its aesthetic. Yes, and the original checkerboard company, established since '66. It's just some vans. Yeah. Here's Freshness Burger. I was very tempted to try this as a burger just because it's, I believe, kind of its own thing. And I've actually heard from people afterwards. They're like, oh, you should have gone to there. That place actually is amazing. All the Wendy's were called Wendy's First Kitchen, and I have no idea why the hell it's called a First Kitchen. Anybody in the comments know? Let me know. Here's TJ very confused as to why I'm taking a picture of a Wendy's, but hey, I was just very confused as why the hell it's called First Kitchen. Oh, here's an adorable little police station. Look at that little thing. Isn't it cute? Oh, here's somebody's BMW 1M. Or no, is it the 1M? Whatever the... No, i8? Whatever the electric supercar thing. What?
Glitter fart. Have an amazing night, everyone. You too.
Yeah. So as it would turn, it would like have all these crazy shimmering colors on it. And I was like, good Lord, that's loud. Then I had to deal with these three assholes staring at me over and over and over again. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we are. Now we get to Akihabara. Did I go mountain drifting? No, I didn't get to do that. We had a janky little hatchback. So this is the soft map building, which you might have known previously as that was the Sega arcade. But it no longer is, and it appears to just be some sort of like outlet thing now. Real sad. It wasn't open yet, but we had just gotten there. There's probably still some stuff to do, but there are still plenty of arcades in the area. And then there were like huge murals on stuff. So you can see like there's all these like each window has its own little thing. And then there's like little things for each store. I'm hoping that I don't run into any that are like wildly too spicy. But hey, there's more Pretty Derby, which was literally just everywhere as it was going around. Oh, and this was for like a cat-made cafe that was like playing like poker. I think it says like it's like Texas Hold'em or something there. But let me tell you something about cat-made cafes. Okay. So they're going to try and pretend they're interested in you. That's their first lie.
Wait, what is this even?
The second lie is that they're a cat.
Okay.
They're not a cat.
Yes.
Third, they're not a maid. It's all a lie.
Oh, okay.
It's just all a lie. It's all a lie to get your money. They're neither cats nor maids. But
good. Not
you
good
know,
at all.
I was like,
big
"Excuse
deceit.
me, ma'am, I'm here to buy video games." And then I like put on my fedora and I like walked away from her.
You did. That's right, you did.
Yeah, let's see. No sitting. Question: can you plug U.S. appliances? Yes. Yeah, you have no issues with that. Yeah, because it's 100 volt. So like it's either 100 volt, 50 or 60 hertz, but it'll be fine. Like a hair blow dryer will blow a little bit cold, but that's about it. Yes. So I was very tempted to buy some booze because you literally cannot buy this in the U.S. A whole bunch of other countries, you can simply buy liquor and have it shipped to you. There is no way to get this as an American outside of simply flying there. And honestly, 3,500 yen for plum wine that I could have annoyed the hell out of my friend that I had. Because he's a bit of a fan of this streamer. And I could be like, that's right, bitch. I got her plum wine and you don't. And I could like send him pictures sipping it and be like, yeah, suck on that.
That's right.
But I'm not going to pay 7,800 yen for what is essentially just branded. I think that's like Bombay Sapphire.
Looks like it.
Let's see. Directed. Made by Mairi Shuryu. Okay, so that is actually a local liquor manufacturer. Okay. But apparently it's made to how she prefers liquor. Well, how many messages can I possibly get right now? Oh, LinkedIn trying to send me this stuff. Of course, it'll be completely and utterly unrelated to what I actually want. More Pretty Derby stuff. Streamer branded alcohol? Oh yeah, there's streamer branded everything. Last time I bought a VTuber branded chocolate bar when I was in Nico. It was pretty tasty. And then in the inside, there's a QR code you could scan. And it was basically her just going, I love this candy. It is so delicious. And that's why I eat it all the time. And I was like, The secret message is buy more Ovaltine?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So every place I went had all kinds of like really, really weird gacha. And I would always try and buy the weirdest gacha I could get. And for some reason, there were all these kids buying Gremlins 2, the new batch. Now, I like Gremlins 2, the new batch, and I was excited to see it. Because I am a 30-something man-child, I don't know why there were like 9-year-old Japanese kids being like, hell yeah! Gremlins 2!
The new batch.
And the thing was, is as you get each of these, you get one piece of spider mohawk. So you could get the giant spider if you collected them all. Here's the Pretty Derby that I got. One of our regular customers messaged and he's like, hey, I'm a really big fan of that. Could you just grab one for me? I was like, yeah, sure thing. And I think this was actually his favorite character. So I was like, oh, cool. First poll. Nice. Oh, here's a Gyukatsu that we went to. So Gyukatsu is like Wagyu. Not like a very high-end Wagyu. But the idea is that it is flash fried on the outside. So it has this crispy, like, tonkatsu-like outer. But it took forever to get in because it's very small. It was right next to a hard-off, which was very nice. So I went into it and spotted gimmicks at, like, half the price of Super Potato, which was pretty cool. Ooh, let's see. What do we got in the background here?
Oh, God, he's dying.
I'm noticing that the reflection is what's in focus, and not the focus. Excellent cameraman, John. Yes, there was an ad for... This was the only ad I saw for Genshin the entire time I was in Japan. That was it.
Dare.
That one thing. Although, here's another ad for like a maid cafe, and I'm sure there's other ads. Oh, there's more Genshin stuff right there. But, let's see. Do I have... Oh, there's Super Potato. And you could see,
Gimmick.
so it was like 140,000. Super Potato, 327,000. It's in the same condition. It's more than double the price.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the Gyukatsu. So it's raw on the inside, and there's a little stone thing. I thought I had taken photos of it. Turns out I didn't. And there's a little canister now underneath it, so it's heating this stone. And you put it on, and then you flip it, and you cook it how you want it. Then you dip it in this like very light sauce, and then you eat it. And oh my god, it was delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very, very good. Okay, so what do we got here? We've got a Hyper Duel. We've actually had one of these at Retro Taku before, and it was a lot more expensive than that because it's very, very hard to get that in the U.S. because it usually on Yahoo Oku goes past the point where you can even buy it through a proxy.
Oh, okay.
So that's why prices will sometimes be disproportionately higher in the U.S. Let's see. Has the coast... every single copy of Gimmick I saw there was CIB. Oh, nice. Nice. You're going to Japan in 2026? Very cool. Every place was like very prominently being like, that's right, we have Home Alone. I'm like, oh, okay. Is that like a big thing here? Is it a cult hit or something? And then I loved at Super Potato, they would often allow their employees to like do their own like little fan drawings for each of the drawings. So that's like another streamer, and like there were just tons of stuff like that. It was very cool that they were allowing their employees to like draw little bits of art and make their own designs and stuff. There's a lot of that at what's it called?
Retro Taku Video Games.
No. Most of us are not very artistically inclined there. What's it called? Don Quixote. There's tons of like employee-made art there. Yeah, it's pretty close to parity between Canadian and the yen. Here were all like that cool like big boxes for stuff. So there were some of these that apparently are some sort of dating game, a horny game. Rez, the special edition Rez with the vibration thing. I was tempted, but I already own the US copy of Rez. And then a combo pack of the Muso games, Dynasty Warriors here. Yeah, check that out. And I love this. They actually will have like condition of each thing in there. Like, does it have the obi? What condition is the disc and the manual and the case in and stuff like that. And then like special notes here. So they might be like registration cards still in there. And every single thing was like that. And then they had some stuff for you Yu Yu Haku bros out there.
Oh.
And Snailer Moon. Oh yeah, here's a very expensive picture. Lane, LSD, and Harmful Park.
Yeah.
Like 3 of the most expensive Japanese PS1 games. Oh yeah, I loved this. So you always have to put money into this little tray, and then they take the tray, and then they take the money out of the tray, and it's just always been that way in Japan. And they're very weird about you just being like, here's my money. They'll be like, oh no, in the tray. But they have like a, hey assholes who have those like metal cards, and then you put dumb stickers on it. Stop breaking our machines. And it's like, understandable. And here's where the thumbnail came from. They had a sign where they were like, hey, on this floor, for 60 minutes, pay 1,000 yen, and you can play as many games as you want. But somebody drew Corone for that, which was pretty cool. Although, check out this. Hell yeah. Is that Jackie Chan? Yeah. Yeah, is that, Oh, yeah, that's the Jackie Chan game for PC Engine and TurboGrafx. Oh, yeah, and we went to the Owl Cafe, which many of the owls were named after JoJo references. Okay. So, although there's Charles Xavier.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. King Crimson, which I still don't understand how he works. There he is. Still don't understand him. Look at this. Look at this little Indian Scops owl. Hey, little cute fucker. We're past 5 minutes. I can say that now.
Yeah.
So Brett got to hold Mr. President, who is a very, very large owl. I believe these ear tufts are actually a way of like focusing ears, focusing sound into their ears, because they have a weird asymmetrical ear system, where it's like one opening's here and another is here. It's very strange. But owls actually have such large eyes, they can't move their eyes within their sockets. Mm-hmm. It's like a conical eye, and that's why they can do so much like moving around like that.
Yeah.
And that's how they're able to see so well at night. And I had this little guy, and he liked to hide behind my head and hop on my head. But he and I got along quite well. He was a cute little guy. And this one, like, every now and then, they'll give them breaks so that nobody goes near them. So this guy was just, like, napping and occasionally waking up and taking a look at people. But you can see that old Takoyaki here is on break time. And then there was a burrowing owl, and I kept thinking of the song, I think it's just called Stuart. What is it, the Mailman, Dead Mailman? Milkman, Dead Milkman, whatever it is, but I like you, Stuart. Why the hell do you think they call it a burrow owl anyway? But yeah, you can see his long little legs, and they actually use those to dig out little holes. Okay. They're a subterranean owl. Oh, yes. Okay, so now we did go back to the Gyukatsu place. So there will be photos. Yes, here it is. So I went big, and I went with 2 cuts. And I got rice and this delicious stuff. There's some warabi mochi there. Some little sauces, some little pickles. It was all very, very good. That's how you'd cook it. So you'd set it there and it'd be sizzling, and then you'd flip it to the other side and it would continue sizzling. Have I been to the Polar Bear Cafe? No. I would name him Doctor Who. That's a good one. Here's this sign of, yes, keep our toilets clean. But then when I was going to like various like used clothing shops, because there were all kinds of like cool resale shops, like half the places, it was just American sports apparel. So this is just a Stephen Barry's Green Bay Packers jersey.
So bizarre.
I saw so many Packers items. I was like, what the hell, am I back in Wisconsin? Although, just look at how kawaii that gun is.
Oh my god.
I had to stop and be like, oh my god, I need to take a photo of this. This is the most insane, like... I needed to make sure that my gun was fit in with the Lolita aesthetic.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my god.
And then I think this is like the signature of whomstever that is. But that gun shoots uwus, I think. Oh yes, this is Retro Game Camp, which I actually bought a few games from. You can tell like the little sticker that's on there. Which we had just gotten a game in at the store before I had left. And I was like, I've never seen a sticker like that. I wonder what place puts stickers like that on. And there I am, like a week later, I'm like, hey, it's that sticker. Although I will point out, some of these that had the sticker exchange are games that do not have a battery. They were selling this little thing that plugs into the back of your PC engine. And it's a little like IPS screen. But the speakers sounded like garbage. But it did pull off the RGB line, so it looked very good. And they had... Oh, God, I can't make it out. What does it say? Dragon Spirit?
No idea.
Plugged in there? Yeah, although it was like... Although I like how they call it an IPS LCD. Like, which is it? But yeah, I'm not spending that much on that. They did have 2 autographed games. Yeah, it is Dragon Spirit. And I do not recognize either of these people. But yeah, those are up front. You can see like the security camera and stuff down there. So I'm sure they have to deal with jackasses trying to steal stuff. Oh, here's the Taito arcade. Here's Rainbow Bomber Girl. And if you zoom in, you can see it's a very Japanese game.
Yes.
I'm sure she's of age if you read the manual. Here's the new Chunithm, which is a fun game, but if it looks like, as you're playing it, it looks like one of those games that would be like on a TV show where like, I don't understand how games works. You're just tapping weird things and then like waving your hands and stuff. But here's a list of some of the stuff. Of course, they had My, which I always refer to as the rhythm washing machine, because it looks like like one of the washing machines, because it's got a little screen and a circle around it, and it looks like you're just tapping on the edges of the washing machine. But yeah, they had a ton of stuff there. Then this is over at, I think it's Animate, which is like an anime store. And they had like a whole bunch of all kinds of different magazines and stuff. And I got the new JoJo chapter from the new part that launched that day. So I was very excited to like walk in, grab one, and be like, hell yeah, I have the new JoJo. Which I just realized I forgot that at home, so I can't show you guys any of it. But it is made out of VTuber's an absolutely gigantic industry there. It's insane how big it is. It's literally on everything. It's crazy how many places you will see that stuff. But it is like the flimsiest paper ever. But I mean, it's 800 yen for a book that's like that thick.
Wow.
And it weighs almost nothing. But I thought this was really funny because this is some amazing design work on the cover here. Like this was like
Show Me Our Hope.
Show Me Your Hope.
Show Me Your Hope. Okay.
I like how it says petite only event memorial anthology.
Wow.
And so I like looked at this and I was like, man, if this was like somebody's album or some sort of other book, like that's really well done. It had like different layers to how like the foil was done in it. It was very impressive in person. And then I opened it and I was like, this is literally just gay porn. Whoever designed the cover on this, you're not getting paid enough.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very funny. And I didn't get to check what was in the sexy zone because it was empty. I wanted to know, because it was like, we have towels, shirts, and purses in the sexy zone with what looks like a K-pop band sitting there. And I was like, I gotta know. I gotta know what's...
Got to know, yeah.
I gotta know. Here's some laser discs of all kinds of cool stuff going on here. We've got a... what is that? Althea. We've got Guyver, which is pretty cool. Not enough people love Guyver these days. Yeah, it was pretty cool to like see all these laser discs, but I'm not gonna pay $11,000 for a laser disc and then trust the TSA with it in my luggage. They're gonna break that so damn fast. There's Battle Chodes.
Oh.
Which, as you can see, is quite a bit more expensive in Japan than it is here. I think complete in box here, it's, I don't know, like $40-50.
Okay.
But it's gotten quite expensive over there. Oh, here's the game where you play as a fat penguin and you have to platform and make sure that you're only eating healthy food and defeat enemies without getting damaged. And if you gain too much weight by eating the wrong power-ups by the end of the level, your girlfriend leaves you and you restarts it. It's a very, very fun little game, but it's ridiculous.
I love it.
It's like, Yume Penguin Monogatari? Yeah, it's penguin on the top, but I don't know the kanji. I thought this was very funny that we have Home Alone and God. Growth or Devolution. And then everybody's pretty well drawn on the cover, except for like, what?
What?
So what's up with this kid? Whisper of the Heart was the first Laserdisc I ever bought. Oh, cool. Oh, here's another gimmick. How much is this gimmick? 242,000 yen. Okay, so not the most expensive. And then we got 48,000 for thingy? I don't know what that is. Oh, by the way, Batman Revenge of the Joker has amazing box art there.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty damn good. Oh, here's another gimmick. There's even more gimmicks than I remember. There were a whole bunch of soundtracks. So there was like Donkey Kong soundtrack.
That's kind of cool.
That was pretty cool. Ace Combat, soundtrack for Pretty Derby. But then, it's not visible.
F-Zero.
There was one for Rising Zan, Samurai Gunman. So I tried seeing if I could find a copy of it, and I could not. And then there was this place, which replaced the Gundam store, which is all miniatures. Like you can see, what is it? Your guide from Elden Ring. I think that's a Kamen Rider. I don't know who the most recent Kamen Rider is. There's too many Kamen Riders to keep track of them all. I thought it was very bold that they seem to have stylized the outside of their building with the SS insignia.
Oh, God.
But, to each their own. Here's Harrison Ford saying, part-time. I got it from Otaku Joe's booth at Youmacon. I believe he ships them separately from Flying Back. Oh, cool. Yeah, Otaku Joe always has cool stuff. Euphoria. Yes, yeah. Tommy, she's a store that focuses on fictional accurate toys and merch. Yeah. So I was very tempted to grab a character from the best Gundam series. Yeah, well, this is on Main Street in Akihabara, so all the prices are going to be crazy. When I did go into the Hard Off, the prices were much better, but that Hard Off had just been robbed. Somebody had just walked in, walked off with a whole bunch of stuff, so nobody could really help me with anything, because there were, like, all the people having to help the police look through the camera records. So I was like, you know what? I have this jacket that has these gigantic pockets on it and a huge bag with me. They're just going to be worried I'm going to steal stuff. I'm just going to leave for right now. And they didn't really have anything I really wanted. Yeah, I do believe they did have a Keyblade there. Here we are at like a very, very Blade Runner-esque looking sort of like train station stop, but we were laughing because there's this weird low ceiling at one part, and it was exactly the right height for Brett. Like, his hair is just touching. All right, so let's see. This is Ginza. If you ever saw those shots back in the day of, like, 60s, 70s, 80s movies in Japan, and they'd have the shots of the long street with all the neon up and down everything. Yeah. That was Ginza.
Oh, okay.
Now, very little of that still survives. There's still, like, a little bit of it here, but nowadays, like, you got Google Maps. It's going to get everybody where you want to go. You're going to try and have a little more discreet sign. Yeah. In a local area of Japan, like, I almost went to... The Hard Off was closed when I first got there in Shiraoi, but I'm sure Shiraoi would have had, like, way better prices than going to Akihabara. Oh, here's the Konami building. Before anyone asks, yes, I flipped it off. They did my boy Kojima wrong. I flipped those fuckers off. I was like, hey... Is that Konami?
Oh my God.
Does Akihabara have one main street that stands out among the rest? Yes. I mean, it is like a district, and it's totally worth it to go down into the back alleys. For whatever reason, there are a lot of, like, American tourists and stuff like that who are like, oh, I don't want to go down a back alley. It's dangerous there. But, like, I was like... It's Japan. I don't worry about any of this. I'm just going to go down these back alleys. There was all kinds of cool stuff. That little Gyukatsu place, that was down a back alley. It was awesome. Hell, I walked a half an hour through back alleys in the dead of night to get back to one of my capsule hotels, and I only bumped into, like, one other person, and they were just nodded to me, and I nodded to them, and that was it. Do Japanese nerds know we're still mad at Konami? I hope so. I don't know, though. Back alleys are where the ramen shops are. Some of the really good ones are, yeah. Also, Konami is a huge company. Yes, they are. But they must know of their crimes. Owns, like, more than just video games. Oh, I'm well aware. I'm well aware they're a very large company. But you know what? I looked at it and I was like, I'm going to regret it if I don't flip them off. Yeah. Every floor in every building was something amazing and different. Although, across the street from Konami, we went to this little place. It was like a tea and confectioner place. and I got this delicious little tea. And then, was that the only photo we had? This was Jason across from me, who we had the dinner with. It turns out he had to catch a flight because he was going off to ski. He didn't know that we would be in town at the same time, so we tried to do what we could, but this was the best tea I've ever had. It was like a special blend, but then they also had like some like peppers and stuff like that. But it was more like a bell pepper, where it's like very sweet and like little bits of that grated into it. And it had this like very faint acidic sweetness to it. It was really, really good. Yes, I know they own more than video games. They also own pachinko machines.
That's right.
I'm real late with that joke, aren't I? Yeah, so like there were all kinds of new like screens and cool stuff like that. But you can see like going down the street, like just look at how much stuff there is. This is why it's like you could go to Tokyo alone for a month and not run out of things. Yeah, re-release Snatcher. Yeah, that'd be nice. What I was always mad about was that like they were starting to do stuff like they okayed that like we got the Snatcher like vinyl print. We got the Snatcher prequel radio drama, and they like started having like Snatcher references in Metal Gear Solid 5, and there was like all this hinting like, oh, we might do another Snatcher. Just kidding, we're firing and shutting down that studio. And I was like, you dicks. And they're like, it's all right. I mean, from a business standpoint, I get it. Pachinko makes insane amounts of money. If you want certain money, you go into pachinko. I get it. But I am a selfish person who just wants more Metal Gear, damn it. I want my old man grumbling in incomprehensible future tech craziness where everything doesn't make any goddamn sense.
You mean Snatcher or Metal Gear?
Both. Well, they're both the same thing, you know. Really, at the end of the day, it's all crazy, crazy shit. Yeah, here's a view down. I think here and there were some of the old signs, but some of them I saw them already taking them down, which was sad to see. Oh, this is it's all about pachinko and mobile games. Yeah, mobile games were insane. Instead of seeing anybody reading books or the paper or magazines or anything, it was all mobile games. I don't know. I did not actually play any of the pachinko machines. I walked into a pachinko parlor at one point, and then I don't think I'll hear as well as I did before I stepped in there. It was fucking loud. It's literally, you step in, you're like, oh, and then you walk out and you're like, oh, wow, okay. Like, imagine, like, you take a paint can, fill it with nails, put it in a paint shaker. Now have, like, 12 of those paint shakers, turn them all on. That's pachinko. Now add beeping noises.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of PC gamers there, but it's quite a bit more underground.
Yeah, I mean, like, I collect a lot of old Japanese gaming magazines. A lot of them are PC magazines.
Yeah. There was a huge PC thing there. Yeah, well, they, for a little while, like, their standard was, like, it's like the Sharp X68K and, like, the PC, like, 8800 and 9800 and stuff like that. It was, like, quite a bit different beast, and then eventually they started moving to IBM compatables. Yeah. And the early IBM compatables had some games,
like
but there was
and stuff,
a lot of stuff that didn't really translate well. So it is actually interesting seeing now Japanese players playing old PC games that we used to play, like, you know, stuff like I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, and seeing them get absolutely frustrated by, like, bullshit soft locking that a lot of that has. Like, you know, at King's Quest, you'd screw something up and you'd have to restart the game because you screwed something up 2 hours ago. Yeah. Like, that was not a thing in those games. So it's just, like, it's very entertaining to, like, see someone experience the pain that you had as a kid. I found the bitter end of Tokyo. I don't know what the hell that was.
John, don't go too heavy on that beer, buddy.
Oh, I know, right?
You've almost started drinking it.
This was the best udon I had while I was there.
Every single picture you've shown of a food, you're like, this is the best. This is the best.
Because I kept trying different things. But this was, they specifically were like,
okay, the best meal of your life there.
Wait until this boils, And then, once it boils, put it in this bowl, then you can eat it. So you take a little bit of the greenery, you throw it in there. You take a little bit of the noodles, you throw it in there. And then as it would get low, you'd add more from this little like pot. But then at the end, you could eat all the seasoned mushrooms that were in there, and oh man, it was fantastic. I loved it. Yeah, I kept looking to see if I could find any of the broadcast Satellaview carts. I couldn't find any anywhere.
Those are probably pretty hard to come by.
Here's an old Ginza sign. It was like, I caught it when it wasn't doing all the blinking, because I just wanted to see it all lit up. Yeah. But that's like what they used to be. They all used to be these huge neon assemblies. Like, look at how many neon bulbs go into that. Those are little slats in there the whole way. It's just gigantic. Probably runs on relays and stuff. Oh, here's the big Kabuki theater. It's very, very, very pretty. Did not have time to see a show. Trying to remember, is this when TJ and I went to the red light district? Which was very entertaining to walk through. I'm not sure if I took any photos. This is just me seeing how far I could take down there. There's Brett staring at the train coming. This guy looking very angry, being like, "Leave it down so I can vent." And people being like, "Uh-oh." They're like, "Is the train on fire? You better step outside." Okay. And I just love how they're like, "Whoo." Apparently there was going to be a play for Planet of the Apes.
Oh my god.
Which I was like,
that's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
This is amazing. I wanted to go to that. Just fantastic. I just found this very strange looking, where they're like, "Hey, don't lose your little ear pods." But it's like a creepy little child, like, just crawling into your ear.
A poster like this, like, what is the
Yes. Oh yeah. So it's no smoking on the street. Okay, so we're in Shinjuku now. All right. There are only about 9 games on the 64DD, and the only one that seems like it's worthwhile. Yeah, if there's a single game, I would say is like, if you have a 64 disc drive, get F-Zero X. Yeah, that's like a no-brainer.
It makes an A game an A+ game.
Yeah,
like, it takes it from like an A tier to like an S tier. Like
it's really good.
It's incredible. Yeah. Doshin was fun.
Yeah,
it's not like an amazing game, but it's a fun little title. And
I enjoyed Japan Pro Golf Tour, but the price is ludicrous on it.
Yeah, if you take away the price completely and just like emulate it, it's worth playing.
Yeah,
the SimCity game was fun.
It's fun. Yeah,
but you could also get SimCity anywhere else.
And then Shinjuku had like all these crazy signs and lights. Like, it's very interesting, just like how alive the city is.
Yeah.
And also very quiet.
Yeah.
Very quiet. Like, are we headed to... Yeah, here it is, Golden Gai. So Golden Gai is a little like nugget of old Tokyo. Where you can see, like, look at this wiring. That's a fire hazard if I've ever seen it in my life. But every single one of these places is a little micro bar. And above it is a micro bar. And above that might be another micro bar. And next to it is another stack of micro bars. And next to that is another, and another, and another, and another, and another. And it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. But you can see, like, there's some very interesting wiring going on here. I didn't get to go into any of these. And it's... because they were all completely stuffed full of drunk Australians. I was just like, wow, there's a lot of tourists here. And one of the doors opened. They're like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, Aussies. But yeah, like, I loved, like, the old style of, like, all the signs. Like, look at this. So cool. Although some places were, like, members only. Although I think my favorite sign's coming up. Yes. Cover charge, 500 yen. A noisy person decline. Smoking is allowed in this bar. Oh, yes. So here is Godzilla peeking over the Toho cinemas. Their flagship Toho Cinema, which is dead center of the red light district. It's funny because it's like, this is the bougiest theater you could possibly imagine. Yeah. And behind me, while I was taking this photo, was a woman trying to ask TJ and I if we were feeling lonely that night. And it was like, ma'am, I'm just trying to take a picture of a giant fake lizard, okay? And here is, we walked past it, and I was like, this is the most uncomfortable seat I've ever seen. Like, the closer you look at it, like look at these angles that are on there. This is
doesn't matter.
Not comfortable at all. Like, how do you even?
You could be an X-Men villain in that thing.
I mean, you could. Yeah, that's definitely true. Oh yes. So here we are going to. So there's Golden Guy, and there's huge missed opportunity here. You could have called the gay bar version Golden Gay.
Oh yeah, okay.
Big missed opportunity, Japan. But I believe it's called Artsy Fartsy.
Really?
Yes, I believe that's what the neighborhood's called. But, like, there's all these, like, little places, like Monsieur's and Izakaya Lady Bump. But this was, like, the entrance to it. But, yeah, Arty Farty.
Arty Farty.
Yeah, Arty Farty.
Okay.
But, yeah, as you go along here, you can notice that, dolphin's, that's very interesting, very interesting. But it was, Barkek. I thought that was funny. Like, all
Boys
of these.
Bar,
yeah, Boys Bar, yeah. But all of these places were completely slammed full. But golly, I wonder what they cater to there. It's literally a bar that's like, hey, we're into Bara, welcome. But yeah, I didn't have anything to drink at any of the places because they pretty much are like, if you come in, you must drink this much. Everybody has to drink who comes in. We need to make our money.
Yeah.
TJ doesn't drink. So I was like, I'm just going to check these places out real quick. We'll go and like just look around at the nightlife and stuff like that. And I'll come back to this stuff another time.
Yeah.
Like next time I go to Japan, I'll go and drink and do dumb stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. Just getting to see some of that. Oh, I did have to cut out some pictures because part of the way that like that like Bara picture of the two muscular guys and their thongs, that's like on a thing that they'll like take down so that if you walked by in the day, it would be a very tame neighborhood. Although a lot of the signs have little laser projectors so they can project more stuff on the ground. So as soon as it's after, the sun sets, they can be like, as you're walking along, there's just like pictures of guys with like their dicks out and stuff that. It's a little pixelated and stuff. And I was just like, whoa.
There's a little laser light show.
It's like, it's just everywhere, stuff like that. But they have it so they're like, it's getting past. Kids might be awake. And it's all gone.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
All right.
So this was kind of cool. So this is served hot. And it's apple, grape, and peach juice. And let me tell you, that is amazing for your breakfast. It was so good. Here's hot and cold corn soup out of the can. I had the hot corn soup, and it was pretty good. Here's a little machine that can make you your little emblem for when you stamp your letters at the donkey. But you can see, like, man, they love making Don Pen all kinds of emotive. I love that little jerk. I love him. Yeah, here he is showing off the protein. You probably saw him in the thumbnail. I couldn't stop laughing at like just his sick gains. Look at that.
Mad gains, yeah.
Oh, here's the luggage I bought. I bought it because I couldn't stop laughing at the name Liberalist Premium.
Okay.
Which I now joke that I'm a fake DJ and my name is DJ Liberalist Premium. You snapping your fingers synced up almost perfectly with my phone's blue light filtering turning on. Hey, I did it on purpose.
That's right.
Here's Don Penn showing where the smoking accessories are, and he has an adorable little mustache for his pipe. Here are the employees of that place posing for some sort of thing. There's a guy wearing a Tenga hat.
Okay.
And then this like insane ad. I don't know what it was advertising because it was completely sold out. But I'm sorry, this ad goes hard. Feel free to screen cap. I have no idea what the hell it was, but I was like, damn, what the hell is this? Oh yeah. Screw that wind. Do more people smoke in Japan? There's probably still more smokers there than there are in the U.S., like per capita, but it's not what it once was. It used to be that smoking was just crazy. There used to be so much more smoking in Japan. Although smoking is making a comeback in the U.S. I think it went up by like 16% last year. Used to smoke in the Star Fox office. Doesn't shock me at all. Japan looks like English text. Japanese, Chinese accent shirts and apparel. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I actually love that. So I've had far too many times where I've had a bit of a chuckle, like a weird mistranslation on Japanese apparel that's in English. So I feel to pay it back whenever we get import systems in at the shop, because if I don't put some foreign text on it, people will just go, what does it mean it's a Japanese system and it only plays Japanese games? I'm like, well, it's a Japanese system and it plays Japanese games, not US games. They're like, oh, okay. And then they put it back. But if I put Japanese on it, they'll go, oh, I bet that's an import system. I'll look at the US one. But the text I put translates to, I have diarrhea. And I just have that repeat over and over. So I leave that there so that somebody can go, well, that's not what that should say. So like I feel like I owe it back. I owe it back. Yeah, so it all says just Geri desu. Oh yeah, look at this adorable little guy. So this is the Suica bus mascot, which means watermelon. And so he looks like a little slice of watermelon. And we had to take a bus. I forget where. Yeah, this video game has diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. So this is Sensoji, which is a huge temple in Tokyo, which is kind of famous for people taking pictures of the manji that's on it and going, ooh, but it's like that picture's literally been there. I mean, that logo's been there for like hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So this is, why is it so blurry? Come on now.
You blurring?
Give me that high res. Yeah, you can see it was popping. Oh no, wait, we have to do the I have a bad case of diarrhea. Yes, it was stolen by them. Yes. Although I think theirs went the other way around. Maybe I can never remember. I know it's also the 45-degree tilt, but yeah, there were all these cool little things, and then it turns out we were there during a festival, so I got to have more Matsuri food. So, yeah, what did you arrive at? Yes, welcome. We're looking at Sensoji, which I think is near Asakusa. Somebody can correct me on that. Yeah, this place was really, really cool. I finally got to have some dango, and it was absolutely delicious. This place was absolutely packed, and it was one of the like first places I really started getting like too many Americans, because like, you know, people like going up and like throwing their change in, doing the clapping and bowing and stuff, and then somebody right behind that person who's like making a prayer is like, yo, what the fuck are they doing there? What is this? Why are they like clapping and shit? I'm like, God. I miss being in the sticks where there weren't any loud Americans. Here's the huge urn where people were putting in their prayer incense, which was really cool. Oh, there's my dango that I got. It was absolutely delicious, and it's hard to describe the texture. It was almost like marshmallow, but like meatier. I don't know. It was really, really good, but it's like this very, very fluffed rice with like a little bit of sauce on it. And as you eat it, it's like kind of like chewy, like the inside of a marshmallow, but as the flavors mixed, it was really, really good.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's amazing. But yeah, I kept doing like, okay, this is my only chance to try this. Because like some of these things are only served during a festival. So I'd walk up and they'd be like, which one would you like? Yes, all three. And I'd like walk away and be so I just looked like a disgusting tourist eating everything. Oh yeah, here's some of the incense burning. And here's a little garden that was behind the main temple. There's the side of the main temple. This was a memorial to, I believe this woman had done a whole bunch to like raise money to fix up a lot of the temples in Japan. And there was a description of it below it, and I forgot to take the photo of that. And this is the grave of like a local famous craftsman. But unfortunately, it's so long ago that most of it is now almost unreadable. It's very, very hard to make out what's written on there. But must have been of some extreme note to be so close to the temple. And down the street, we had some okonomiyaki. I was able to get my Uniqlo jacket, which Uniqlo in Japan definitely has like way crazier styles than the Uniqlo in the U.S.
I'm not familiar with that at all.
They're a pretty big chain. There just isn't one in Detroit yet.
Okay.
One of these days they'll open. It's very nice because it's like relatively fairly priced, very nice, sort of like a little bit more businessy. Like if you just wanted to go into a place and you were like, I want everything from business casual to business formal, they'll have all very, very nice like anodyne stuff there. But in Japan, here and there, they'll have like some like crazier stuff like that huge poncho that I have. Cool stuff like that. But everything's like actually really nice prices. Okay, so this was this is the place where we had unagi. So there's the unagi-don, and there's snail soup. Snail soup was absolutely delicious, and the unagi-don was absolutely delicious. Oh, and here, so these boats are water taxis, but they were designed by Leiji Matsumoto, who did like Galaxy Express 999 and all that sort of stuff. But I recorded this, and the next day he passed away.
Okay.
So I was just like, unfortunately, I didn't get to ride one. I got there like 5 minutes late. Somebody in the Discord had told me like, dude, you got to ride it. It's so cool. And at least I was able to see it, but I was very sad to find out like the next day, like that night, he had passed. But like, better not skateboard.
They sunk all the ships?
With people in them, yeah.
Because he had passed?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd never be able to ride one again because he passed?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah, so they're very cool. I would have never thought he was a ship designer, but, you know. Oh, that's not it. That's
what are you trying to do?
There it is. Okay, on to the next photo. What? What's going on here? Ah, here we are. And then this was from the Olympics. Yeah, R.I.P. Leiji. Yeah. It's like the 70s Olympics building. This gigantic metallic spirit thing. Yes, here was like, look at this.
Wow.
That's
the 1 pounder.
Yeah, the King Yeti 1 pounder. Like, what the hell?
Wow, 4 patties, huh?
Yeah. I feel like it's itching the hell out of my nose right now.
Did you get it?
Probably not.
You don't know whether you got the King Yeti or not?
No, the King Yeti, no. I thought you meant the thing itching my nose. Yeah, Burger King in Japan is more American. Yes, that's true. It's like Hungry Jack's. Hungry Jack's goes hard. So we stopped off because we were going to go down to Pallet Town. And we were like, oh, we get to see the gigantic clock that Studio Ghibli worked on. And then so we're here, and we sat there, and I'm recording video for like 7 straight minutes. And the clock strikes 3 or 2 or whichever it was. And then that's when we found out the clock only goes off every other hour.
No.
Because there's so many people working in that building.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh. So we're like all sitting there, and it's like us and all these other tourists, like, come on. Then we look at the sign, it's like, does
Big
not
sad.
go off at 2, does not go off at 4. And we're like,
Well,
yeah,
big
it would be very annoying to have that constantly going off. Well, damn.
Yeah.
Let's go see the big Gundam. So we got on we got on the monorail, which is really cool because there's one seat you can unlock that, and then you can have manual controls of the
whole monorail.
But the monorail was fully automated. There was this like weird triangular building that looked very cyberpunk that I could not figure out what the hell it is. Like, what is that? Yeah, I definitely got clock blocked. Oh, that's what is it? TV Asahi. That's their building. It's very famous. And then there was some sort of like video creators conference thing that was going on at the National Museum of Emerging Science and Innovation. I like challenge me doing exhibition. And here were some of the creators who are involved with it. I don't really know too many of the Japanese creators. It looks like, once again, there's 2 VTubers. I don't recognize them, though. Okay. So it must be, what is that, Nico Doga? Okay. Yes, I don't know enough about that whole world, that part of the internet yet. But there it is. There's the Unicorn Gundam. Oh, is it? Okay. I think I recognized one because I've seen an interview with the guy, and he was showing off his house, and it was pretty crazy. His house was very cool. I think he was the one who did like one of those like giant foam things, and he just killed his entire backyard's grass because it turns out it's just a grass poison. And he's like, hey, well, I made enough money on the video, I can just get more grass. But yeah, this was really cool. It was, I missed it activating and I missed it deactivating, so it just looked different when I came back out, and I was like, son of a bitch. So that was really cool to see that. I thought that the moving one was there, and it turns out it was further south in Yokohama, and I would have had to take the Shinkansen to get down there. We just didn't have enough time, so next time I'm going to see that big boy. But look at this.
Jeez.
The future is now. Have you ever wanted your ice cream and your cotton candy together?
It's kind of cool because as it melts, it's not going to drip down. It's going to...
Those cones were like this. They were huge, but the line was gigantic, so I did not get to try it. And I was like, oh my God, I will have diabetes the second I get that. But look, it's only like 650 yen. I want that. But I was, at the same time, I was like, I would be the only grown man in the line buying it for myself. And it's like, I feel a little self-conscious about that.
Well, what are you going to do?
Although later, I did just see some guy walking past with it, and he was just eating it, and I was like, you glorious son of a bitch. And then I really wanted this gacha, but I only wanted the Mothman.
Yeah, as one do.
Yeah, because I have the Meth Syndicate shirt.
Yes.
Claims I sucked the Mothman.
It's not just the first 5 minutes, John.
Hairware. So this was one of the gachas. I got the last one out of it. It is a mini thing, like model kit of a Nissan escargot delivery van. And I was like, well, I gotta get that. That's too ridiculous. And then there's this ridiculous cover across from, once again, the same magazines. But then I went into the Gundam store, so they had like the model. So that's the one that's outside of Gundam Base. That's the one that's in Yokohama. Let's see, is this one in Shanghai? And then this cool one's in Fukuoka, but Fukuoka is way too far, and I don't even think I'm allowed into China right now. I don't think you can go there as a foreigner yet. You never know. The lemon one could be amazing. Oh yeah, and Anime's OG Mad Lad Tamino had autographed this. I'm sure he was imagining killing whoever he was handing it to as he did it. I love him, but he's a crazy son of a bitch. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see that. Doubt Japan is going to make these Gundam shops. Japan soon. What? I mean, there were several that I went by. Gunpla's huge. Oh yeah, and they had some of the people who had won the various like national competitions. So I got to take like close-up photos of these people's like. Yeah, like look at this.
Super detailed.
Yeah, it's just insane. Oh, in America? Oh yeah. I mean, there's like little model shops, and in bigger towns, like maybe in New York City, you could get away with that. Maybe in LA, maybe Chicago. I don't know, but it is very niche here. But yeah, like look at this. Look at how this is all like dissected apart.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it was like I got to see these, and I was like, oh yeah, that it definitely explains why that's the one that won.
Good lord.
Yeah, just insane. Like, I've seen people compete here, but...
I'm going upstairs. Do you need anything?
No, not right now.
Okay.
I think I'm good on beer right now.
Oh my god. You, like, not even touched it.
So, unfortunately, while I was looking for... I actually tried to see if I could find a specific model kit. Decent little shop in a flea market in Florida on vacation. Yeah, as long as you go to the right hobby shops, they'll actually have really good stuff in them. But hobby shops are unfortunately having a lot of issues with the internet just destroying them. So if you've got a hobby shop and you like it, make sure to give them some love. But I kept trying to go around. Oh, I love that they immortalize everybody's favorite scene where Bernie just gets absolutely annihilated in War of the Pocket. What an uplifting moment. But I kept trying to see if I could find my boy Big Zom. Couldn't find anything. There were no Big Zom Gunpla while I was there. It was very sad. Because I wanted... oh god, is that Dozel Zabi's wonderful brainchild? It's like the dumbest thing ever, but I love it. My friend bought me a one-piece Merry Ship model kit. A small shop here in Canada. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've heard there's a lot of really, really good stuff in Toronto, actually. I keep meaning to go to Toronto, and I haven't been there yet. Speaking of Toronto, where's William? I'm surprised he isn't in the chat. Although, I think he's in Japan right now. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, I was tempted. I wanted the "you deserve 10,000 deaths." These are very, very strange. Oh, yeah. So as soon as I walked out, there was, of course, another idol group dancing. And as I was, like, taking pictures, this lady, like, walked up with a sign that just said, "No pictures." And I just kind of looked at it and continued taking pictures, and then she kind of pointed at me, and I was like, all right. Because I was like, dang it. Come on now. But yeah, I really, really wanted to know what was written on the back of this lady's shirt. Because it says, when I die, because I've spent my time in, but I don't know what's under her hair. Actually, I think she was trying to tell me no video. But I really just wanted photos of this lady's shirt, jacket, and that's when she was like, you can't do that, you can't do that, and I was like, but I want to know what's on this crazy jacket. It's like the bootleg Drive jacket. I wanted to know so bad. I was like, listen, I've been in Japan for a week and a half. I've seen enough idol groups. That doesn't shock me. I want to know what this lady's jacket says. Here's another Statue of Liberty. When we looked at it, I think we all like looked at each other and we're like, well, that's number 4. And it just kept going. Here's number 4.
Oh, Statue of Liberties.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of Statue of Liberties. Even a variety of colors I saw there. Although I must say this one was really, really well done. It gave Tobu World Square a run for its money. Oh, and I found out Tobu World Square, all of them are 1/25th scale.
Oh, okay.
And apparently it has like 100,000 people. The little figures.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, that's just insane. Oh, and this was really, really cool. I had to stop TJ for a moment and Brett because this is like a street performance thing that they used to do in Japan, where they have these like little cards, and the person would do like basically a one-man show with like sound effects and noisemakers and stuff like that, and they would voice all of the characters and they would move the cards in and out, and sometimes the cards might like have it where it's like half a piece that moves and reveals something. So Kenny Lauderdale actually did a video about how Golden Bat started as this, and it's kind of weird that in a way manga had voice acting before it was manga, because that's where most of that came from, was this. But I just saw this lady doing it and I was like, stop, hang on. And they were like, all right. And after a while, they're like, this is actually really cool, because she's like doing all the voices and going around and acting, and she had like all these crazy little noisemakers and stuff. And it was really, really cool to see. But it was mostly little children that were there to see it, and just one weirdo in his mid-30s just sitting there just being like, I am way too excited by this. Please continue with the theater.
Yes, yes.
What's going on? Yeah, it could be anything. It's so broken.
Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bump the heat. It's a little chilly down here. Oh,
yeah. There's everybody's favorite anime character, George W. Bush. Are we going to get a part 3? I should actually be done with everything tonight. Oh, here's another esteemed international weeaboo and foot fetishist, Quentin Tarantino. Who apparently also, yes, Mr. Quentin Tarantino, film director of Kill Bill. One of our Roombas at works likes to bump into people's feet, and then it just keeps bumping until it tries to find a way around it. And so people are like, what's up with him and my feet? So I really want to just put a picture of Quentin Tarantino on it. Here's a guy from the Giants. And here's like, just like, look at how many people were outside. Like, the weather was amazing. It was like, I don't know, 55... almost 60 degrees out that day. It was fantastic weather. So many feet talks. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the internet. It's hard to avoid feet these days. And here is another idol group, because you literally can't go anywhere without bumping into more of them. I didn't get any video of them, but they were actually pretty good. And then I did not, unfortunately, get to go to Beard Papa, but I hear Beard Papa is actually really good.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Fresh natural cream puffs. And this ramen also looks like it slaps. By the way, I make my own ramen. I'll probably drop a link in the chat to the book I've been using, but it's absolutely amazing. Moderate air conditioning. Not like aggressive or anything, just very moderate.
Very moderate.
And then I was very tempted to be like, can we go and see Japanese Man of La Mancha? It's a good musical. Here's this like ad for these like sick ass condos. Like, look at that. That slaps. Slaps for real, no cap. He's just like me. I loved this. It's like, hey, jackass, don't try and run through here. We'll see you on the camera, and then we'll angrily hit the brake, and you'll annoy everyone. But I loved the little bowing train. He was adorable.
Oh my gosh.
Here's an ad for some sort of like laser skincare, but then awkwardly one of the rose petals is right in front of her skin, so it looks like she has these huge blemishes.
Looks like she has like plaque psoriasis or something.
Yeah. And here's like, Japan loves Harry Potter. I did not realize how much they love Harry Potter until I saw like there was a little Harry Potter store, and it was like absolutely jam-packed, and people were coming out with stacks of stuff.
Wow.
Like, I even saw a few people just dressed in, like, the Harry Potter clothes. And I was like, hell, if they weren't employees, they were just people going to it. Here was the Kirby Cafe. Unfortunately, you needed a reservation to eat at the Kirby Cafe.
Oh.
People love the Curbster. He's a good boy. I told someone how big Harry Potter was in Japan. They did not believe me. Yeah, no, Harry Potter is huge in Japan. Yeah. Yeah, the Pokemon thing, you could just walk into. The Kirby thing, they're like, excuse me, sir, are you on the list? And I was like, damn, Kirby is having his day. There's an Harry Potter related tour thing that'll open this June. Wow, cool. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm at Tokyo Skytree now. Yeah, there it is. Look at that gigantic-ass thing, which is, like, okay, so I think there's some telecom stuff on the top, but it was mostly built as a mall, and then they just built this gigantic observation deck just because they were like, well, I guess we could. Like, I love it.
I feel like a lot of Japan is like, oh, I guess we could.
Yeah, it's like, let's show off. We can do this. This is very cool. I'm like, man, remember when we used to do cool stuff? I'm like, the design on everything. Japanese architecture, big fan. The elevator goes from like the ground floor to like the first observation deck in like a minute, and your ears pop like 3 times on the way up.
Wow!
You're just like, oh, I barely felt anything, and you're like, oh my ears, oh my ears, oh my ears, and then like the doors is like whoop, and then you step out and you're just like, oh, I'm already up here? Oh, God, I went up real fast.
Wow, that's
Kirby
really
sucks.
high.
Ban him! No. Yeah,
So
there were a lot of rooms that looked like 2001 Space Odyssey. But yeah, this is like really what shows you, like, just the only thing that stops Tokyo is the mountains. It just goes on and on and on. And that's when you fully realize you're like, I could spend years here and never see it all.
Yeah.
And there's just so much to see and do. It's insane.
Yeah.
Tokyo Tower, which, of course, the greatest musician of all, Kaiser, had a... Krauser. That was the guy in Detroit Metal City. Had intimate relations with in one episode. If you've never seen Detroit Metal City, go try it. I'm pretty sure Hogwarts Legacy was a pretty big hit there because everybody's nuts for Harry Potter in Japan. And they are pretty oblivious of any reasons that people might not want to play it here. Just because like the algorithm really does not show them like the other side. So I'll skip to this. This is me trying to get some video, and it came out looking like poop because I got an old phone, but you can see all the little blinking lights, and you get that real like Blade Runner feel. No jets of fire, unfortunately. Oh, here we are. Let's see how far I can zoom. Yeah, that looks like crap. This one looks a little bit better. Not much. Camera doesn't do it justice. Although here is like perfect. Like this is like a Friday night, and look at those streets. There's like almost nobody on them.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Because it's just all public transportation. So if you are actually driving, it's not that bad. As long as you have your ETC card, which I did not. Here's the clouds illuminated. Here's everybody like walking around. Yeah, look at this. Look at how cool this is. So like you can see people walking down there, but there's like not a car in sight. Never mind. There's 2 cars, a couple parked, but like almost nothing. Krauser is the bad guy in RE4. I forgot about that. Yeah. But yeah, it was really, really, really cool getting to see all of this. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, there's a golf range. There I'm trying to get some photos. Oh yeah, there's a part where you can walk over it, and it's just open, and you can see down. There's more of the river. Yeah, I was just like, I'm just going to click as quick as I can these photos, because everybody was doing this annoying thing where they would just like dead stop and be like, I need to get the perfect photo, and everybody was like, ugh. Yeah, the Pixel 5 isn't that bad. My battery in mine is not great. These Pringles were pretty damn good. There's the Rayquaza, because I'm back down at the Pokemon store, which was open for like another 2 minutes, so I had to be like, look for stuff. Nothing. Okay. So they had this like weird doll of the guy who started this restaurant chain, but it just looks like Pee Wee Herman. It doesn't actually look like... I saw a photo of what the guy's supposed to look like next to it.
It just looks uncanny. It just looks like kind of... I don't know if it looks like Pee Wee Herman. It just looks...
I just kept looking at it, and I kept turning to Brett and TJ, and I was like, I don't know about that. That's my bike.
Now I am sad that I've
Come now, Pee-wee. You should share. Yeah, there was... by the way, Japanese-style Italian food is really, really good. Really, really good. Oh, yeah, here's a smoking room for people who are asking about smoking. This picture of a cat was just like too majestic not to take. I have no idea what this photo is about, but look at that majestic little guy. Yeah. Would you like some gum, Francis? Food relation restaurant. I too like, if I'm going to have my food at a restaurant, I would prefer it to be relation.
Yes. Preferably.
Yeah, so here's some Nika whiskey, and I offered to get my friend Seth a bottle of this, but at the time I hadn't bought my luggage yet, so I was like, I don't know if I could. I regret it now, but I really, really should have. These were gigantic bottles of Jinro, and this was like the shitty bottles of Nika Black because it was in plastic. Never buy liquor in plastic. I love this mathematics. Shark multiplied by cat equals kawaii. And look at him. Wow. You can't deny it. Oh, yeah. Okay. So here's all the bouncers in the morning having their morning cigarettes and all chatting outside of the various bars. And it was funny because, like, they'd all be, like, smoking and standing there and talking about, like, drunks they'd thrown out or something like that. And they'd stop and look at me. And I'd just be like, Ohio, and they'd all be like, Ohio, and then they'd go back to their cigarette, and I was like, Everybody in Gotanda was, like, super friendly. It was very nice. Also, the hotel I was staying at was, like, $30. Oh, yeah, this like, weird little thing down here was a like, pachinko place.
Huh.
Pirates of Gotanda. Yeah. It was insanely loud. Here's a Go-Go Curry. Dick's out for Harambe. Dick's out. Which is in Akihabara. This is a complete in box FZ10 3DO.
Wow.
I got the chats all, yo, Harambe! Yeah, here's a complete in box Mega Drive.
Yeah.
A Neo Geo memory card. I actually called Griffin. Because I checked time in LA, called my friend Griffin. I was like, hey, dude, you looking for a memory card? And he's like, yeah, why? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I'm looking at one right now in Retro Game Camp in Akihabara. And he's like, what? Did you just call me from Japan? I'm like, yeah, you want a Neo Geo card or not? And he's like, holy shit, no one's ever actually, like, been that good at, like, that. No, I have one right now, but thank you for thinking of me. Here's a true crime. So Harajuku Station used to be this beautiful old station, absolutely beautiful, and now it's this. Like, this looks like a dentist's office in this. It's an abomination. And I showed up here. I got here late, and I was like trying to catch up to TJ, and I'm like shuffling past, and like a TV crew is like, "Excuse me, sir, would you like to be on the news?" I'm like, "Not now." And I just kept going, but then they found like some guy who like looked like Turbo Weeb, like I don't know how best to describe it. Had like a Broly on a t-shirt with it like tucked into his jeans, and his jeans are pulled up like way too high, and he had like 2 bags full of like figurines. Like, sir, would you like to be on the news? He's like, yes. And I was like, okay, they'll get their juicy weeb out of that guy.
Yeah, 100%.
He's going to be like, I have always felt that I am Nihonjin at heart. And they'll be like, sure, okay. Long ago, in part 1, I said that one building I'd see again from Tobu World Square, and there it is. I don't know what it's called. Oh my god, my nose will not stop itching. For how finicky my nose is right now, I may as well have done cocaine. Oh, yeah, here's all the offerings of sake at the Imperial grounds. It's very, very cool. I got to walk along. There's all these beautiful spots. How much was the price? Yeah, headline, American and otaku in Japan spills extreme amounts of spaghetti. Country destroyed by flood of spaghetti. Oh god, there's a video that Sora the Troll linked where they're just like trying to ask this guy about like why he's studying abroad in Japan, and I think at one point he asks the woman interviewing him if she could call him Big Brother, and she's like, I guess, and after she does it, he's like, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So. Beautiful little temples here. There was actually a wedding procession that had just gone through, but it was too far away to get photos of it. It was very pretty. I joked. I was like, should I be that one boomer at the wedding who runs up and goes, "It's not too late to say no." Oh, here's. I believe this is the princess's tea room, which has actually been rebuilt. I believe it actually burned during the fire bombings. Yes, there it is. Built in 1900, burned down during the war, so in the autumn of 1958, the present building was reconstructed. There's very few buildings that actually survived. There is, I found out, a hostel in Taito City that is a pre-World War II surviving wooden hostel. It's like 150 years old, and it's like $30 a night, and it looks amazing. Next time I go, I'm absolutely going there. I just didn't know it existed before I went. So next time I'm checking it out. Oh, and here's this cool crane hanging out. Oh, while I was taking this photo, we were about to cross a bridge, and a little old guy just kind of motions for us to stop. And he takes a little film canister out, and he puts some seed on his hand, and just does this. And all these little birds come down onto his hand and start eating and then fly off. And then after he flies off, he's like... I was like, that was awesome. Like, and this guy was out, like, hand rebuilding the little bamboo hoops that they were using as fencing. And here's a wide variety of to-go cups of sake, which I bought one. And then, hilariously, Chivas Regal. If you want to get drunk Hunter Thompson style. He was a big fan. Ooh, here's a cream soda that I got. So it was like a melon soda with ice cream and a little bit of like strawberry ice cream and a cherry. You kind of swirl it around a little. But I had that, and I got to have this hamburger and a souffle pancake with a little bit of maple syrup. And then I had this like rice that had some of like the gravy on it, and I ate all of that. I had my drink. Brett had souffle pancakes, and the great thing of walking around so much is that you can eat like a goblin, and you like gain no weight while you're there. But here we are in Harajuku. There's the dog cafe. There's like a ton of these. There's Big Mama. Okay. I don't know what Big Mama is, but I kind of love it. Oh, yes, but we did go to this place. Now, unfortunately, they had a capybara, and unfortunately, it recently passed. So we were unable to see the capybara. However, we did get to see this tiny little monkey who was very interested in us. But there's a fennec, a type of fox, and he was just snoozing away and would occasionally wake up and look at you and be like, yeah, that's right, you pet me. And then just like go back to sleep. While I was there, at one point the woman just walked up and just said, hey, would you like to hold a meerkat? And I was like, sure. And
she said that in English?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, so they had this like thing with a family of meerkats, and she picked one up and set it in my arms. And at first it was like, huh, what? But then I was like, oh, you know what? They all rest on top of each other. So I just kind of did that. So it was kind of like cuddled like that, and it just went like, put its chin right here, and like I could just hear it snoring after that. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's so cute.
There were a whole bunch of hedgehogs and stuff. There were also some pretty cool things. Japanese spaghetti, which I was talking about earlier with that guy who's like, oh, of course I'll be on the news. That's some Japanese spaghetti right there. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
I saw that. Free hugs. Seriously, if you don't... The person who tries to keep everyone... Oh, all right, then. But there were, like, all kinds of, like, crazy shoes and stuff. Like, Harajuku is wild. Don't know spaghetti was Japanese. Honestly, if you go to Japan, try the Japanese style of things. Like, Japanese style Indian food is really good. Japanese style Italian food is really, really good. There's a lot of like these weird blends of stuff. I mean, hell, ramen started as food that the Chinese immigrants were making in Japan, and it like there's all kinds of real cool stuff like that. I thought this was really funny, where they're like, "Hey, we're gonna have Charzabi. We're going to have these guys from, oh God, what's the show? Slam Dunk. But then there's also minifigures of the Minions.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there were more figures from all kinds of stuff. There's one of the Pretty Derby characters. We've got more VTubers in here, a whole bunch more. There was like all kinds of stuff, and the prices weren't too insane. It was all pop-up parade stuff. Okay, that makes sense. This gigantic recreation of like the what is it, the Angel and Evangelion. This like just wild construction on this like mini figure.
Wow.
Yeah. It was absurdly expensive. I don't even know what it's from. I have no idea. I love Minions. Banned. I thought this was hilarious. Where they're like, we're just going to have a section where everybody has gigantic boobs, and also we'll have a Miku.
Sure. Of course.
You know, you got to even it out with some Halloween Miku. And then a place that specifically makes Native American-styled Indian jewelry.
Okay.
Which I thought was pretty interesting. How dare you guys live stream while I'm studying? Well, thank you for the $20 dues, my good sir. Hello from mid-Michigan. Well, hello from southeast Michigan.
Oh.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
that somebody's
that's something
selling...
you expected to see.
Yeah, yeah. This was like an Adidas, like cafe, and you have to like reserve, and you're given like a gift bag as you come in. And I love that people were just like showing up in like head to toe Adidas. And I was like, what? Oh, well, hello from Detroit. Well, hello from just north of Detroit. But yeah, like there was this Adidas place, and then just down the way there was an Adidas, and they just had this random white guy who's dressed up like a train conductor who's just holding the door open, and he would just nod to you as he came in. He just had to constantly smile. Okay. And I was like, this is very strange. I bet that guy's making more money than I do, though. But I just loved this, the lady in like head to toe Adidas. I like saw that and I was like,
okay.
Is that Keisan? I don't know, maybe. Oh, so this. If any of you get to go to Tokyo, or if you live in Tokyo, make sure to try this cola. You can just Google, like, the dreamy flavor Tokyo, and it should find you this. It's, like, handcrafted in-store. And oddly, they only take card, and every single person working inside was fluent in English, which was extremely strange. They would not take cash, and everybody was fluent. It's the only time I ever saw that. But this stuff was so good. Like, not only did I not know that cola could taste that good, I didn't know anything could taste as good as this did. Because they, like, from bean to drink fresh that day.
Wow.
And then it's like they like pour the syrup in that they have just made, then like seltzer, mix in ice, and then they like put a little bit of like just a dash of salt and pepper, swirl that, give it to you in a straw, and then hand it to you. And as soon as I sipped it, I was like, holy shit. What? And like I let Brett and TJ try it, and they were like, yeah, okay, and they both went in and got their own. Yeah, it genuinely made from the tears of angels. It was so good. It was one of the best things I've ever had. Like that, make a detour, get a chance to try that. It was really, really good. And there are multiple flavors that they have. Oddly, this vending machine would only accept money off of like your Passmo card. Can you buy a girlfriend vending machine in Japan? No. There are people that you can hire to pretend to be your girlfriend, though. That is an industry there. And then this guy had this like sweet ass old Porsche.
Yeah, old Porsche.
And this guy's just like, what is this asshole doing? Like walking towards me as he's taking a photo. Here's the Tower Records, which like, look at how cool that building is. It looks like it's out of an anime. And then I think there's a gacha game ad playing there. I love the Wasted Youth. Yeah. Oh, and so this is in Shibuya, which is like basically like their Times Square.
Okay.
It's like really, really big hub. And there were just buses going back and forth that just had big signs and speakers for different boy bands that are just trying to get their name out there. No. And just as you're going, it's just like one after another, after another, after another, after another. It's like a whole cycling industry. Wow. It's crazy. What happened to that scene kid that studied in Japan? He was cool. I don't know.
Oh, TJ. Yeah. Talk about TJ.
Oh, TJ? Oh, yeah. I was
with him.
I was on this trip with TJ. Yeah. So check out this sweet building. And this sweet crab. Time for crab. He lives in California now, and he works as a lawyer. But he was like, "Hey, I've got some time between jobs right now." Oh yeah, he's still rocking the emo hair. So he was like, you want to go to Japan? And I looked, and flights weren't bad, and the exchange rate was amazing, so I went to Japan. But, like, yeah, this is Shibuya Crossing, which is the most insane and surprisingly orderly thing you will ever walk through. Here were some guys protesting that weed should be legalized in Japan and playing Japanese reggae. Japanese reggae is actually really good. I love it. I've been watching you guys for like ever, and he disappeared. Oh yeah, he's on the out in California, in like the San Francisco area.
He's like south of San Francisco by a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, pretty much everybody who actually lives in San Francisco is somewhere a little bit south or over in Oakland. Yeah. So here's like sort of like the square. Here's the guy in the big like weed thing. The response to weed, yeah. I get like most of the people I talked to who were there. They were like, I'm not for it just because it smells bad. And I was like, well, I totally get you there. It smells terrible. People who smoke weed who think it does not have a smell, you're just wrong. It smells.
Oh, it certainly has a smell.
Terrible. And then there was this lady who was like screaming into a megaphone about like, do not trust politicians and they will lie. But with, I don't know what the hell was going on. And that was a picture of her when she was younger. I don't understand what was going on there. But here is what is it? It's this dog who his owner passed.
Oh, yeah, went to that station every day.
Yeah, and would wait. Yeah. So there's a statue to him, and I took a very unflattering photo of this lady when she was there. It does smell good. I smoke weed. Doesn't smell good, but it's okay to smoke it. And here's the original sort of thing to commemorate him, but they expanded it since then. And then here are the most disgusting things at the Uobe. Would you like a cheese hamburger roll?
I'd try it.
Yeah, the Hachi statue. Yeah, it's Hachi. So this is Uobe. The way Uobe works is you've got two little conveyor belts. And on that screen, you're like, I want these 5 things. Click. And as soon as those are ready, it'll be like, whoop, 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 right to you. You take them off, you click that you've taken everything, and then it'll serve the next person. And so we went a little crazy.
Oh, jeez. Wow, okay.
But, like, each plate was, like, under $1.
Yeah.
So, like, and we had just eaten not that long ago at that other place. We were just like, we can't not go to the conveyor belt sushi place. So we were just like, oh my God. Like, have you ever gotten that thing where you eat so much food that you feel slightly high?
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe. I felt like that. It was like almost tipsy, like you're a little bit
more
drunk.
like drunk. Yeah, than high.
Yeah, we definitely got that. But this place was just like, it was insane how much sushi they were shooting out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that it was on GBA first. I didn't know that back when I first played it. Here's like a neat little back street that we went down to check out. Oh, this crazy like spider statue thing, and it's got like these like eggs inside of it. I thought that was really cool. And everybody was just walking past it like it wasn't there. So I was like, am I seeing shit? What is this? I'm trying to remember. Was this the building TJ lived? Yeah, TJ used to work in that building. And here we are looking out of the observation deck, which is really cool to look out of. Because as you're looking around, like, you can spot, like, okay, here's some graves. So there's probably a shrine near there. Actually, I think it's easier to see on the next photo. Oh, there's a shrine. There's a cemetery. There's just shrines everywhere. For whatever reason, I always hear from other tourists like, oh yeah, okay. So cemetery, shrine, cemetery. They're like, oh, once you've seen one shrine, you've seen them all. Every single one I saw was beautiful in a different way.
Yeah,
I was very impressed with them the whole way. Here's this beautiful skyline from the building. Oh, yeah, and there was some sort of art institution for a musician who I've listened to quite a bit, but I cannot remember her name, but they had this, like, crazy outfit that's from one of her album covers, but I cannot remember her name off the top of my head. If somebody in the chat remembers, it'd be very cool, but if you post it in Japanese, I will not be able to read it. Here's a very large cemetery and temple complex that was viewable from there. Oh, and this was really weird. So, like, you can buy a small cat in a can, little spice shaker samplers, so that you can keep, like, your togarashi and stuff like that with you, and tape that looks like yakiniku meat in various states of cooking.
Wow. Okay.
If you don't remember the name, then it sucks. No, she's good. And then they let you go up onto the helipad to check it out, but you can't step past. And they have a whole bunch of guards. Like, there's a guard. And he'll be like, hey, don't do that. And there was one family that just was standing there with their camera and just kept being like... like this, and I'm like waiting for them to go. So finally I just like walk through because I was like, all right. So I'm just like, pardon me. And like one of the random family members just gives me a shove like that. And they're like, oh, what? And I'm like, what the hell? You're just... And there's like 5 or 6 people waiting. It's like, you should have just waved us through. If you're like, I have a camera, I don't know what's going on right now. But I just like looked there and I was like... And I just like kept going. Honestly, I do not know the answer to how LGBTQ friendly it is. I'm sure there are some content creators that are better about that. Like, I mean, there are like gay bars and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's gotten better. Back in the day, it probably wouldn't have been great. But I mean, I'm straight white guy on a vacation, so I can't answer too much about that. There's probably some pretty good content about like travel logs of how to do stuff like that.
I'm sure there's probably like blogs or vlogs or just...
I think the only one that would be really tough is if you wanted to do capsule hotels and you're trans, because they do go like, no. If you got a penis, you got to go to this one. If you don't, you got to go to this one. And they I don't know how they handle that. But then I would recommend just looking into like business hotels. They're like micro hotels, but you get your own room, your own bathroom, so they wouldn't be doing any of that. You'd get all your privacy. So it'd only be marginally more expensive. And that would probably be the easiest way to dodge that. Probably for like onsens and stuff like that. A lot of those will have like a room that has a private onsen, which you're going to have to do if you have a tattoo anyways. Keep public displays of affection to a minimum. Yeah, that is true. Like, don't get too handsy with each other. You just do not see that in public. Yeah, it was kind of cool. Like, they kept shifting the colors that everything was lit up with. My phone only did so good of a job with that, but like it was a very pretty day. It was like 65 degrees this day. It was weird. I would say just walk around eating constantly and yelling as loud as you can. They'll love that. Oh, yeah. Oh, and always have an open can of liquor and act drunk and try and start small talk. They'll love that. Absolutely love it.
Love it.
Don't do those things. One thing I would recommend is try and avoid like t-shirts and shorts and stuff like that. Just go with like, slacks and buttoned shirts and stuff like that, because a lot of places will prefer you dress a little bit more formal. Like that 3 Michelin star place is like, if you come in a t-shirt, they will just decline you entry. So like I had to wear much more formal stuff. But this little fish and chips shop, which I believe was one that Chris Broad had mentioned once. So I took a little picture of it. Oh, look at this sweet building.
How bizarre.
Yeah. Super cool, though. Beautiful little back alley. Yeah, I've heard it's good. I think it was closed when I walked by it. Although, if I look back, it probably had an open sign lit up, but I was not hungry at that point. This was a hotel that TJ was put up in during his internship, so he just got to stay there for like 3 straight weeks, and it was like a very, very nice place before they got him an apartment. And they had like a very nice, like included breakfast that was like, apparently absolutely amazing. And TJ was like, I was very sad, but they're like, we found you an apartment. He was like, damn it, son of a bitch. All right. Oh, we went out to yakiniku with a guy TJ met, who's really cool. He was talking about how his big hobby is, instead of game jams, he'll do it's like competitive coding speed runs. So it's you have to make a program that does X. Whoever's team can do it the fastest wins.
Okay.
And he does those competitions, which was really cool.
That's kind of wild.
His English was not great, but we did a little bit of like Deep L and some stuff like that, and he could pick up a lot of what we were saying. So yeah, he was a pretty cool guy. I asked him to link me some cool YouTube content creators in Japan, and he sent me some links. And I keep meaning to click them and thank him. But I've got him on my Telegram, so because Japan always has RTX on it. Yeah. By the way, yakiniku is my favorite cuisine of all time. So at one point he was just, although look at this. What the hell is this? Am I a goddamn caveman? Where's the washlet? Anyways, I was going to say yakiniku is my favorite cuisine of all time. So when he suggested a yakiniku place, I was like, yes. And then when we both ordered the largest highball that they serve. And he was like, highball? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, nice. Yeah, he was a pretty cool guy. I was disgusted to see that regular toilet. And then we went to this parfait place with him afterwards, but end of the day with a delicious parfait and hope you have a good dream. After drinking, don't you want to eat something sweet? I want to eat parfait instead of ramen. But he doesn't want a parfait full of whipped cream or cornflakes. I want to eat sorbet with plenty of fresh fruit, refreshing gelato for her, and elaborate French course desserts. I didn't have a parfait that I could eat at such a closing time, so I made a night parfait specialty store. Therefore, the sweetness is relatively suppressed, so that you can enjoy it. So that you can eat it refreshing even after drinking. The best time to enjoy it is when you're drunk. Laughs.
Amazing.
So this place, this parfeteria,
Wow, look at that.
it was so good. And to operate the sink, you had to push the button, and so he had drawn owls that were showing you that there were foot buttons. But yeah, this is the place, and this is a guy being like, "Why are you taking my photo, bro?" But it's a little tiny place, and I guess I didn't have a photo of my parfait. No, wait, this one was my parfait. TJ's was very cool, but it was so amazingly good. Everything was absolutely delicious. And they had slight amounts of alcohol in it. I was not drunk at the time, no. This is one of the guys who works at the Gotanda Yamanote line station. And then I found the most Japanese thing possible.
How is that possible? Oh.
Would you like to guess what this guy is?
Station idol latch?
So he's the anime boy representation of Gotanda Station for the fictional Yamanote Line boys group, which has music and radio dramas.
Okay.
So you can literally simp for infrastructure there.
Wow.
You can be like, my boy Gotanda, he's the hottest. Oh, you like the Asakusa Station? You piece of shit. Like, I was like, this is amazing. Like when I saw the radio drama stuff on the wiki, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Oh yeah, here's the face that was in the room the toilet was in at Doshi Gotanda, and I was like, hello little alien face. And here's the so these are for the trams, and these are for the buses. These are their little representations. Oh, here's we stayed at this one place where a guy drew the, what is that, Char's Hyakushiki? And there's like all kinds of people who left like all these letters. This place was super cheap. It was not very good, but it was incredibly cheap. It was like $18 a night, but it was called One Night 1980. If you don't care that much about how comfortable your bed is, but you want a cheap place to stay, it's the perfect spot. You also get a ton of storage. There's a little cute guy on the bus. You do have to take the bus to get there. But we went back to Sensoji and we spotted, I think that's the character from, what is it, Gegege no Kitaro? Might be wrong. But yeah, there we are back at Sensoji very briefly. I had a matcha beer. Which is a beer that's brewed with matcha in it, and it was pretty good. Oh, yeah, here we are. By the way, the future. You press one, and it puts out a specific amount. You press the other, and it puts out a different specific amount of oil, so that you can perfectly meter how much oil you're frying with. I was like, what? We don't have that. How the hell? What? But we finally got it. We got okonomiyaki, which is like a Japanese cabbage pancake. Okay. I don't know how best to describe it, but it is absolutely delicious.
Okay.
I know it looks like weird slop, and texture-wise, it is a little bit like that, but it is extremely tasty. This is a so planned.
No.
But yeah, okonomiyaki is amazing. If you ever get the chance to have it at a nice place, it's pretty good. I couldn't stop laughing at how happy this guy in like this, like I think that's a Chuhai ad or something like that. But look at him. He's so happy to have his yakitori and
he's
an
really
alcoholic
happy.
Lemon beverage.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Would anybody like some vinyl artist gotcha? I could go for some vinyl artist gotcha myself.
Oh my goodness.
This arcade was unfortunately closed because I was there super early. Oh, yeah. Here's another game I got. Limited Run, I missed it, but I wanted Luminous Striker 2. And bam, there it is. I got it, and it was not much.
Yeah.
It was way the hell cheaper, and that has English on it. But then I went into some of the other game stores because I woke up early that morning to go and check out Akihabara. So this is the Japanese cover for Elysia Dragoon, which is amazing. They actually did it as a collaboration with Gainax, so the cover art's amazing. And then there's the fairly rare Sailor Moon game, which Sailor Moon games are weird. They're either so bad they're good or actually good.
Yeah.
There's only one or two where they're pretty skippable. RoboCop versus Terminator cover art. Amazing.
Wow, okay.
Let's see. Got some neat stuff through here, but I don't remember everything's name. Oh, there's another gimmick. Oh, 246,000. Ooh, Ninja Turtles. Yeah, Mega Drive games. Yeah, I mean, the Mega Drive didn't sell very well there. Okay, this was really cool. However, I almost bought it, but I had to stop because I didn't know if the buttons would be in kanji. Because for only 34,000, about 35,000 yen, that is a complete in-box Steel Battalion.
Yeah.
That controller isn't region locked.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, well, the game's not going to be able to work in my Xbox, but the controller will. Mm-hmm. And the controller's $500 by itself here now.
Yeah.
And that's, let's see. What's yen to US dollar right now?
I don't know.
Let's see.
This game looks good, though.
Yeah. 34,800. That is $262. However, it was so big it could not fit in my luggage. So I've had to buy new luggage.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, my Xbox isn't even working right now. I gotta pass it. And then I saw this like huge collector's edition for this game. Like, that's a Densha to Go controller for scale. Mm-hmm. Like, that thing's like at least the height of my beard.
Yeah, that's wild.
And look at how huge that is. Oh, and there was a Hyperboy right next to it. But then we've got Castlevania Chronicles. What is that? Variable Fighter. Oh, yeah. Advanced Variable Fighter GO2. Which actually, as soon as I got home, the guy who did all the art for that, he passed as well.
You kept killing people on your trip, John.
I know. I'm a horrible murderer. I tried to find the art for the Sega CD, Mega CD Japanese version of World War III because it's Bill Clinton and Saddam Hussein shaking hands in front of a gigantic nuclear explosion, and they both look really happy.
Oh my god.
So I got Twinkle Star sprites. I actually already have Illmatic Envelope for Switch, so I didn't grab that. And then there's another Res down there. But I did get Twinkle Star sprites. Because if you've never played this game, give it a try. It's amazing. It's like a competitive cute-em-up.
Oh, okay. I've heard of
where you
this.
send, like, as you start doing better, you start sending more stuff to the other person's side, and it becomes like a crazy thing. Cool. And this actually, you can unlock like a very, very good arcade port of the Neo Geo version. Here's a Panasonic Q, and I didn't see this price until I got home. That controller in that box in that condition would sell for like $400 here. It's like, I don't know, 90. I was like, oh, I don't have the money for a Hori digital controller. Oh, look, a Panasonic Q. I'll take a photo of it. That's kind of cool. And then I got home and I saw that price and I was like, oh, why? Then there was some sort of event going on for like Blue Archive at this like above this like ramen place that was across the street from where we were gonna eat the next day. But anybody who knows most of those pop-up shops are pretty bad. 'Cause they'll just be like, here's poorly made food and we slapped an anime girl on it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Sometimes they'll have cool merch, but you're just waiting in a line to get bad food. Here's some Playdia games, if you're a true weirdo. Mm-hmm. Here's some cool 360 Japanese exclusive, like shmups and stuff. Although I think we got this one in the U.S., if I recall correctly. Let's see. Oh, hey, This game was made by the guy who went on to later make the Senran Kagura games. I actually have the US version of it. Matra Melee is, of course, like super expensive. Oh, and the most American game of all time, Metal Wolf Chaos. A true masterpiece. Richard! Oh, here's the Taito arcade on the inside. They had all kinds of stuff. And I thought it was funny that they were like, hey, we got this. And then we have this.
Okay. There we go.
I didn't have coins because I was like, that's so weird, I need one. But unfortunately, I didn't have the coins for it at the time. And then if you thought it was weird that there was the Pekora plum wine, there was Fist of the North Star wine. There's Lum wine. There's... I don't know what Blue Lock is. I've never seen that. I don't know what like half these characters are. But, yeah.
No John wines. What a shame.
Yeah. Where's my wine?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Here's a little shrine that I found just walking to the place that we were eating, and it had this beautiful little grounds. This was just a tanning salon with apartments above it. But like, look at how cool that building is.
Yeah.
There's the shrine. We went into this little, it's a yakitori place. It was like a much higher end yakitori place, and I only took a couple of photos while I was there because he kept giving me odd looks when I pull out my phone. So I thought I was perhaps doing something that was a faux pas. But so that's chicken liver, and then I was like, I'm not going to look at the menu because it's just the tasting menu they're giving me. I'll find out what these things are afterwards because I don't want to be squeamish. But there were things that were like crisped tendon, some crisped intestine and like stomach lining and stuff like that. But then one of the weird things was I was like, these are like little meatballs. These are pretty good. Well, they weren't meat. They were balls.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what they were the balls of, but they were indeed testicles.
Oh, wow. But
everything I had there ended up actually being quite tasty, although I feel 80 was a little bit too expensive for what it was. That was the weird thing, was almost every single place I ate was really, really good, but the really expensive places were just better. But not like, wow. Because like the bottom of the barrel there is still already so damn good. Oh yeah, and I couldn't stop laughing because a friend of mine lives like down the street from that actual union. Yeah, Kumamon. Yeah, I kept seeing him. A friend of mine just loves all the memes he's in, so I kept sending him pictures. Look at how vibrant and colorful this place was. You choose your flavor of David Bowie.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm the boss.
I almost bought that just because it's like, I was like, ooh, this goes pretty hard. And then there was it gotchas.
That's so weird.
Xenomorphs. Character from One Piece that I don't know. This was like a 3D sculpture, so it looked like it was almost moving as you went by it. And then there was some sort of pop-up for what is it? Is that Blue Archive or whatever the hell? I don't know. Then there's gigantic basketball players that look like plastic toys. It was very strange. And then as soon as we left, I was like, "Oh, hey, that's right. The Bathing Ape store is." And I just see them go click, click, and I was like, "Wow, am I gonna get my drip?" I missed going to Bathing Ape, and the next day was my flight.
Oh.
So I missed out. Oh yeah, this was on my walk back to the apartment, not to the capsules. This was just a little like playground that I walked through. Then like the whole way, it was everybody was just super nice and friendly, and it was very good. Then here we are having our last breakfast. And I was joking. I was like, I don't know how I'll go back to not having Lawson's every morning. And I know what it's like not having Lawson's every morning. It's pure suffering. My life is hell. Oh, I love the Japanese food review websites. Everybody is very brutal. So having a 3.58 out of 5, that's considered bragging rights here. Where like here, that would be like, oh my god, how many like food code violations do you get?
Yeah.
Like having like a 4.7 is like a here.
Yeah.
But I got this delicious gyoza. It was very, very good. And then this was a bowl of ramen that I got. The nudes were pretty good. The menmo was quite good, but I like how they managed to somehow twin yolk all the eggs.
Yeah, that's funky.
I don't know how they managed to do that, but I feel like the yolk is slightly overcooked. I like it a little bit less
Solid.
yeah, a little bit softer. The chashu was decent, but I've gotten pretty picky just because I started making everything completely from scratch. But yeah, we've got TJ showing off his ad that he saw for the Big Slut Burger at Egg Slut.
Oh my god.
Yeah, which we were laughing about. But yeah, there's I think I went with the deluxe bowl, but thankfully they did actually have a like a vegan bowl for Brett.
Oh yeah.
Which I will actually say, I've done a couple of vegan ramen bowls before, and it's actually pretty easy to make and can actually be quite good.
I didn't realize he was vegan. Did he have trouble eating there?
Oh, that is a big problem. Vegetarianism is very hard to do. Like if you are vegetarian, what's up, chat? What's up, chat? How you doing? Are any of you vegetarian? Because I'm going to be honest with you. You might have to hang that up just for while you're there. You might just have to be like, yeah, I'm vegetarian. But because it's going to be very hard. Most stocks are meat-based. It's a lot of places won't even tell you that sort of thing because it's just simply not a thing there. So if you're like a hardcore vegan who cannot do this, like it's okay to be like, hey, I can't have gluten. They'll try and accommodate you. They'll be like, oh, okay, we've got like, rice noodles or something like that. But it's going to be very hard if you're just like, hey, I can't eat meat, because they're going to be like, yeah, literally all of this is like pork and chicken.
Yeah. I had a friend who lived in China with her husband for a while, and like her husband was a vegetarian, and it was also just like completely unheard of. And so like, they had like
just not a thing.
They had like a host family or something, and they're trying to like explain in their broken like Mandarin like what he can eat, and basically it was like, okay, like he doesn't eat meat, like, and she just did not understand. So she asked like, well, what kind of things does he like? Because she knew they were trying to say something about what he didn't like. And so they were like, okay, well, tofu. And then she's like, okay. So she prepped something, gave it to him, and it was brain. Because she was, in her mind, it was like, well, this has like the consistency of something he likes, which is tofu. So like, therefore, if he likes tofu, he'll like brain because the consistency is similar. And so he was just like, he just like ate it, and he's like, I'm gonna starve. Like I gotta hang up my vegetarianism.
You know,
can't do
Tony.
it.
Sometimes you just feel emotion for man who eat brain.
That's right. You do.
Yeah.
That's one time you would. Yeah.
I've had coworkers that have had this sort of elementary restrictions. Yeah, they solved it with apps. Yeah. Oh, I had to take a picture of this because it was like, it's like, it was this little animation, and it was of these like two people just holding hands. Oh, what a cute couple. But, oh my goodness, this girl behind them was like, oh, but they're not holding onto the rail on the side. That's so dangerous. Mm-hmm. And then they both look at each other, and they both put their hands on the rail, and she's just like, oh, they're so cute. And I was like, oh, what the hell? So I had to take a picture of it. Because she's like, look at how happy she is that they're now both holding the rail.
Yeah.
It's more important you hold the rail than each other's hands. And then here's my last view of Japan. Very, very sad. I did think this was really funny. Like, hey, watch it. Somebody might steal your bag. Probably not. And then this is the first thing I saw back in the U.S. It was Ruby's Diner, Sriracha Bacon Bloody Mary. And I was like, this is after they took my tea, by the way. They wouldn't let me drink my tea at security. They were like, hey, you can't bring that in. I was like, well, can I just drink it? And he's like, no, I have to take it. And I was like, yeah, whatever. It was 80 cents. I think I was like, how? I was like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll just buy water here. And then I walked over and water was $4.50. And this, look at this, like the most depressed salad you've ever seen. It was $12.69. Like, at least they gave me a chuckle with the 69. That is not a $13 salad. I am sorry.
Well, you're in an American airport.
But they didn't take my delicious curry puffs, so I got to have that. And then here's some of my merch that I brought back. And I guess I'll show off some of the other stuff I got. So I got Metal Gear Solid Integral. Unfortunately, it's the best, which is like the greatest hits print, but I don't care that much about if it's that print or not. But this was the way that they got the VR missions in Japan.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. I got Front Mission Gun Hazard, which is like a side-scrolling kind of shooter in the Front Mission series, which is normally like a tactical turn-based mech thing. I got another of the Gomon games. I got the Virtual-On re-release that they did for the PlayStation 2, which I think this one only got a Japanese release because it's part of the Sega Ages collection. But yeah, still has like registration cards and everything. Super cool. So ages ago, somebody traded in Another Century's Episode, which is like a mech fighter game where you play as various like major mech franchise characters, but it was made by the Armored Core team. So like you can see, you can play as Domon from G Gundam and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So while I was in Japan, I was like, all right, I got a goal. And I found Another Century's Episode R. And I'm happy to report I found Another Century's Episode 3 and Another Century's Episode 1. So I got all of them while I was there. There were a whole bunch of games I was looking for. Didn't get all of them, but I got a couple.
Nice.
I knocked out one series I had been looking for. It'll take me forever to get all the Gomon games because there are just too many of them.
There's a bajillion of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And while I was there, so here's the little gotcha that I got. So here's the Nissan S-Car Go. Okay. I got a 240SX. There's a little figure. This is the Unicorn Gundam that I got out of a gotcha machine at the Gundam base. I got Snow Miku in Hokkaido because I was like, I want something to remember. And I'm not like the world's biggest Miku fan, but I wanted something. I got a coin purse that was Urusei Yatsura themed for like, I don't know, 200 yen. The thing I was looking for the most was I really wanted like weird experimental stuff, but that's really hard to do when you don't have a lot of time to shop, because there's a lot of really, really cool like experimental stuff. Did I make any mistakes? Not that I know of that were not intentional. There were a few times where it was like, technically, it would be rude for me to do this, but I really, really need to get by this person, and I've tried to say like, pardon me, or whatever the Japanese equivalent is. I'm a little out of practice right now. And they were just trying to like kind of ignore me, so I was like, I gotta pee. So like I, might kind of shuffle past or something like that, and here and there I would pretend that I didn't know English if they tried to get me to put my camera away when I'm trying to take like a photo inside like a temple or something like that. But I was like, I'm just gonna do a couple of, I'm gonna be the tourist here and there when I kind of need to. But everybody was just so nice. I really felt bad anytime I'd like kind of have to do that. There was also one point where I was about to use It was this bathroom stall had finally opened, and I'd been waiting like 10 minutes. I really needed to go to the bathroom. And then the door to the bathroom came in, and this kid's just going like that, and I just immediately start pointing, and I was like, come on, this one. And he just like goes straight in, and I closed the door behind him, and I was like, yeah, he can have that one. Like, that kid's got an emergency, he can go first. But yeah, what other dumb... Oh, yeah. So I got this Kizuna Eye badge, and a manga that's a reimagining of Hamon Karn from Gundam as a 30-year-old unmarried office worker, which is apparently an official thing. Okay. It was just in the bookstore, and I was like, what the hell is this? Oh, it's like 600 yen. Okay, I'll grab it. But yeah, and then for answering a questionnaire, this lady gave me a tiny rubber Fuji. And I was like, okay, cool. Oh, yeah, and this film clip is of the greatest scene in anime history. It is, oh god, who is it? It's Slegger Law eating a cheeseburger staring at Mirai.
That is all Greek to me, but I'll take your word for it.
Somebody in the chat will understand what an absolute unit Slegger Law is.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so I bought 2 of the gachapon for Kizuna Eye because a friend of mine's a huge fan, and I was like, all right, I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to grab a second.
Sir, that's Corey in the house.
Yeah, it's Corey in the house. I was like, I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to grab a second one, and Mike can just choose whichever he wants. Mm-hmm. And both of them, we open them, and they're the same pin. So I was like, well, I guess that makes choosing easy. But I wanted, there was one where she's just, like, staring at a gigantic piece of meat, drooling, and then another one where she's, like, laughing ridiculously, and those were very funny. But these were, like, a close third, so... I should watch mangas with Tony and transform him into an manga lover. Yes. Well, I mean, your wife does have a whole bunch of Junji Ito.
Yeah.
You should totally... Those are actually really good.
Yeah, if I ever have time.
Yeah.
I'm actually very legitimately interested. Not sorry.
The art on
sounded
those
like I
is
was shutting.
mind-blowing.
That sounded like I was shutting you
it's
down,
really
but
good.
no, I'm not. I actually legitimately do.
And
think,
then
that'd be a lot of fun to
we'll
read.
get you on Boku no Pico.
I mean, it's easier for me to watch anime with her because it's a little bit of a less of a commitment time wise.
I forgot. There was one more thing I bought. I bought the Metal Gear Solid Collection 1987 to 2007.
Oh, okay.
So let me open this. Show you. This was by far the most expensive thing I bought
What is that
there.
for?
And it was like $40. So it's got so Metal Gear Saga. So that's a DVD. Then it's got Metal Gear Solid Disc 1, Disc 2.
Here, hold on a second.
Let me just lift this.
Okay.
So I can flip it like a book.
Let me take control of the mouse here so I can.
So it's got
So we're actually looking at-
Metal Gear Solid 2.
You're out of frame here a little bit.
Metal Gear Solid 2. Document of Metal Gear Solid 2. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. And then it's got the bonus disc that's got Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 2 Solid Snake. But wait, there's more. I don't want to damage any of it. It was in such good condition. There's this, which is like a collection of like little art books and manuals for everything, which was really cool. All the like little inserts and registration cards and like a little thing certifying that you have bought the 20th anniversary thing, and the like contents of everything in there. I tried to see if I could find some art books. Couldn't find any of that. But then, way at the bottom, because this is before Peace Walker, it has a copy of Portable Ops.
Oh.
Which is really cool, which I think this is like a special printing on the outside that was only in this one.
I've never seen that, but then again, it's the Japanese cover art, so...
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. I saw this, and I talked myself out of it initially, and then I just came back the next day and bought it, because I was like, yeah, I'm just going to kick myself for not grabbing that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you love Metal Gear
And one
so
of these
much.
days, I'm gonna replay Metal Gear. I might actually stream that because I realized it's been over 10 years since I've played through the series. And I have not played Metal Gear Solid 5 or Peace Walker yet, and I keep meaning to. So stream's a good way to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And my computer's getting to the point where it's not strong enough to play most games, so I might as well just stream retro games.
Yeah, there you go.
You want to bring up chat
Yes.
there? Sorry, chat, we were ignoring you because we literally couldn't see you. Customs. Oh man. Yeah. So customs. I think I went through Dallas or Houston, and they were assholes.
Really?
I did
well,
not
yeah, you
like
told me
it.
about the tea thing.
Yeah. So for one, they took away the tea. Although the guy was very apologetic. He was like, "I'm very sorry. It's just I can't let you keep the tea." And I was like, "Hey man, that's all right." And after I mentioned how much he was like, "No way." He's like explaining that he's like, "Oh, originally I'm from it was like I think he was Brazilian, and he was talking about how like great it is to go back and visit his family because everything's just like so cheap versus like how much he makes in the U.S."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, it's like that, but Metal Gear Flaccid." But like I was like, "There's like bullet trains and stuff," and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, usually you're used to like, everything's cheap because like the economy is kind of so depressed, or the way in which the scale works is completely different." But instead, it was just like things were fairly cheap, and the infrastructure was absolutely mind-blowing because everything gets moved around by train there.
Yeah.
So when fuel goes up, it barely changes food prices.
Yeah.
The only thing it can really affect it is inflation, and inflation hasn't been that bad yet. And thankfully, the yen's been recovering, so it's doubtful that inflation will hit that bad. But so I get to actual customs. The guy's like, "Can I get your documents?" I'm like, "Here you go." And he's like, "What'd you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I went to Japan." He's like, "No, that isn't what I asked." I'm like, "I was on vacation." He's like, "That isn't what I asked." I'm like, "Sorry, what did you say?" And he's like, "Well, if you would have listened, I said, 'What do you do?'" I'm like, "Went on vacation and I'm coming back." He's like, "For work." And I was like, "Oh, I'm a retail manager." And he goes, "Whatever. All right, you can go through."
Why was that important?
But I was like, "What the?" Like, he was like really angry that he didn't understand me. But he's like, "What'd you do?" I'm like, I thought, "Oh, like what did you do? Not what do you do?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "What? What?" And like he was really like. I didn't like this, and I was kind of like, "What?" And he's like, "I'm not joking around. What do you do?" And I was like, "What the fuck? What?" And when I got onto the plane, I was so used to everybody being so friendly that I got to the guy comes up and he's like, "Hi, what would you like to drink?" I was like, "I'd like a juice." And he's like, "Yeah, what kind?" And I was like, "What do you have?" And he's like, "Apple, orange, grape." I was like, "Okay." Well,
How would I know that?
yeah, I don't have X-ray vision.
Yeah.
I can't read your mind. The correct answer would have been like, "Sure, apple, orange, or juice." Yeah, or, or
Here
grape.
are the options.
And I'd be like, yes, orange." Like, I was just like, what? And like, I'm so used to that here, but after 2 weeks of everyone being so nice and so polite and so friendly, I was just like, what?
Yeah.
And then I get back and they're like, "Congratulations, water is $5 a bottle. The worst salad you've ever seen in your life is $13, and we're gonna yell at you because you can't understand what we mumble." And I was like, "What? I want to go home." And then when I got back, the power went out, and I had to keep my pipes from freezing by stoking my fireplace all night.
And that's a metaphor.
Yeah, I was like, "Boy, sure am glad to be back in the U.S." So now it's like you go into the gas station, and you're like, "Oh, Red Bull, $4. Yep. The Japanese energy drinks for 140 yen. Yeah, everybody kept telling me, like, "Oh, you better be careful about that culture shock when you get to Japan." No, I had culture shock when I came back.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, everything, even if there were weird ways in which things worked, it made a certain amount of sense to me. And I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. I like that. Oh, hello.
Hey, William.
Hey, there he is. I had actually mentioned earlier, I was like, speaking of Japan, where's William? But there he is.
There he is.
Are you still in Japan, sir? Yeah, Red Bull probably is cheaper there.
William's been posting some pictures on our Patreon. We have a Patreon-only Discord, so he's been part of the
yeah, if you want to
Patreon
vicariously
team.
live his trip, you can do that
he's been posting
too.
some pictures for us. My pictures are mostly just like, I went to this cocktail bar. I'm drinking again. I'm at a brewery. I'm at a cocktail bar. I'm at a brewery.
Yeah, you can.
John's like, boom, Japan, amazing. And I'm like, went to the cocktail bar.
And then occasionally you'll see me doing all my prep for when I make ramen from scratch. Oh, that's right. I was going to put the link to that in the chat for you guys because it is genuinely amazing. Let's see. Amazon. Tony low-key pretending he's not the hottest one of us all. Oh, yeah.
I am wearing my charcuterie connoisseur shirt.
Oh, I forgot there was a Canadian guy when I was in Shibuya who's like, hey, guys, I talked to those guys who were singing about weed back there, and he told me a place I can buy weed. And I was like, you're in Japan, do not buy weed. And he's like, no, but I can totally get some. I'm like, you guys want to come with and go get some weed? And I was like, you're in Japan, do not buy weed. Do not buy weed. They do not mess around about drugs here. And he's just like, no, man, it's going to be great. And I'm like, I did warn you. Sir, do not buy weed. Like, don't.
Oh my goodness.
All right, let me get the link for this. And just buy this on whichever way you prefer. Like, if you don't want to give Amazon money, that's fine. Just find some bookseller that does have this.
And
yeah, weed's legal in Canada. Weed's legal in the state of Michigan. It's legal quite
There's
a few
like 4
places.
Dispensaries like within walking distance of my house.
There you guys go. That is the link to the it's not an affiliate link. That's just the link to the book I've been using. Oh, yeah, that's actually a good thing. So what they consider to be restricted drugs is very restricted. So, like, I have ADHD. Now, I have not had a prescription for any ADHD meds in a very long time. I just don't like how they make me feel. But say if I had a prescription for Ritalin and I bring that to Japan, it does not matter that I have a prescription. That is a narcotic I am not allowed to have there, and I could be arrested for it. They might let me through customs, and they will... Yeah, I have 80 HDs. Yes. Not 79, not 81, but exactly 80.
Yep.
But they'll arrest you. And, like, you could be deported and you could spend, like, a month in jail before they finally are like, okay, so you did have a prescription. We're going to have to confiscate these, but we're going to send you home. And you'll have to pay for your flight back. And Japanese prison is probably a pretty good prison, but I'd prefer to actually just be on vacation rather than in prison. Personally.
Sure. Personally, yeah. Personally.
But yeah, check on what meds you can take there. That's a very, very important thing. Don't bring a knife with you, not even a pocket knife. Just don't. You're not going to need it for anything. Here's the thing. Like, keep some, like a key on you for, like, opening letters and stuff. So, of course, I pull out the keychain that does not have a key on it. Yeah. John got a subscriber. Woo! Yeah, so if and when I stream, it'll probably be on here, although I'll probably do the thing where I, like, archive it afterwards so it doesn't screw with the algorithm. I, too, have ADHDs, and it does suck sometimes. Also, don't get thrown in Japanese jail. Kira will get you. Yeah. I think, actually, are there any more photos after this? No, this is the final photo. Okay. Yeah, it's, that's my little weeb alcove, in my room. Let me think, are there any other recommendations I would give? Death Note reference, yeah. I actually have not watched Death Note yet. I keep meaning to, but... I wonder if they have anime in Japanese jail. I'm sure they do. I mean, they have anime personifications of the things the fax machine does at Lawson's. They've got anime in jail. Like, come on. Yeah, medical weed doesn't count. As far as they're concerned, you're going to super jail. And not the cool one that was on Adult Swim.
Yeah, maybe just don't bring drugs to...
Yeah, like, a lot of nasal decongestants, because they have a certain type of stimulant in it, that's illegal.
Wow.
Do they have Godzilla in jail? With how much stuff he's broken, I'm sure he's in and out of jail fairly frequently.
Periodically.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking of Godzuki. They can't fit Godzilla in.
Well, I have to say break through jail and then keep moving along.
Do you think they like to play I Want to Break Free?
Yes.
By Queen?
Yes.
While you're in jail?
Yeah.
Great music video.
Yeah. Anime Queen.
Yeah. Do they have Anime Queen?
In Japan. Don't know.
Do they have Anime Lord 32? Yeah, I took cough medicine from Taiwan, and I made sure to ask the pharmacist if it was legal in Japan. Yeah. That's like, one thing that I found was, so there's a common complaint a lot of Japanese people have with American deodorants, where they're like, deodorant is almost like half deodorant, half perfume here. So it's very, very like loud and has a very strong smell. And so because of that, what I did was I put on my deodorant for the flight, and then I just left the stick at home, and I bought new deodorant when I was in Japan, and it was great. It's like you can like put it on, and then you have no smell. You don't sweat. There's just no scent. It like very briefly has like a slight lemony scent, and then it's just gone. And I just used that so that I wasn't.
So it's just an antiperspirant.
Yeah, but it doesn't have like a whole bunch of extra scents. And
that's the deodorant part of it. The
No.
antiperspirant is the no sweating part.
This did actually make it so it like killed the bacteria and kept it from smelling.
Yeah, but the actual deodorant part of it.
Yeah, I'm talking about the
bacterial...
additional perfumes that they will kind of like fill it with. There's just much less of that.
Okay.
There's a My Anime List page for Queen. What? I use women deodorant. Yeah, sometimes those have less scents. Because, like, Axe body spray and stuff like that, like, don't do that. I'd have a hard time not being much Dr. Pepper in Japan. I'm, like, addicted to that soda. Dr. Pepper's pretty good. I'm a little bit more partial to Mr. Pibb, but that's partly because I can't get it here. So it's, like, very exotic. It's,
very exotic.
It's like... Every time I spot Cheerwine, you better believe I'm buying that because, like, you can't really get it. In prison, they call me Lady Speed Stick. A DJ Lady Speed Stick. That would be a good one.
Nice. That's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Oh, my God.
That is a really good one.
I don't know if I'm just giddy because I'm tired.
That is a solid joke.
That is a solid joke.
That's a solid one. Wait, you got any more, chat?
That's the deep lore.
Any rare games you picked up while there? None of them were really rare. They were just things that I was after. Probably the only one that was like actually fairly valuable that I grabbed was that like Metal Gear collection and then Twinkle Star Sprites, which used to be like $10, and I kept going, maybe I'll grab the next one. And then it kept getting more and more and more. And then I started seeing exporters at like 70 plus shipping. So when I saw this one, I think it was like 40.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep, grab that. Oh, and so after that guy was kind of a jerk to me at customs, he's like, did you buy anything while you were there? I was like, just a few little cheap knickknacks and some chips, stuff like that. And he's like, oh, okay. As I walk through with my like $300 worth of games and stuff, I was like, yeah. After that, like, what do you do? Shit. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking lie to you. Like, what?
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna be nice to you. I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna lie to a federal agent because he was a dick to me.
Well, maybe don't say that aloud, John.
That's right. I bypassed a very minor tax that probably would have been about $6 or $7.
Okay.
But you know what? That guy was a jerk.
Hard4Games does not condone.
We do not condone
John's
my own actions.
actions at customs.
Become ungovernable.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
They were like curry puffs.
Yeah. All right, let's do some final questions here because it's almost midnight our time, and I'm gonna get woken up at 5 or 6 by my daughter.
Oh man, it's 11:47. I'm gonna have to speed run my Duolingo. But I highly recommend that book I linked earlier, the Amazon link that I put. How much did the flight cost? It was $1,200. However, I would not recommend booking a flight right now. Flights are very expensive right now. Fuel has gone up quite a bit. I've been tracking a couple of flights on my Expedia price tracker streaming platform. This one, I just haven't done it in ages. I'm very bad about it. I suppose I could set up a Twitch at some point, but I feel like Twitch only really works if you're already established.
Yeah,
I honestly feel YouTube is a better platform to stream with. It has way better built-in stuff for trying to push your own material and stuff like that.
I've thought about jumping to Twitch, but I just after 14 years of doing Hard4Games, I just don't want to build a new audience.
And yeah, you have to build a new audience, and you have to stream a certain amount, or they actively punish you, and it's a lot.
Yeah, it's
multiple hours, multiple times a week, and all these different things.
Don't do this to me.
And then after you sign to be a Twitch partner, you can't stream on both, or they'll revoke you. The 2 video on John's YouTube channel, especially the milk one. Oh yeah, did you like the milk one? Yeah, it was pretty good. I made that yesterday. I have the 11 Labs AI, so I can make it have me say things now. So I can have it say. Let me turn up the volume on here, but so I can have it. There we are.
I have a lot of work to do with the kids, and I have to go to the store and get a new...
Oh, wait, that's an old one.
I believe goblins ruined my cereal.
There you go. Anybody want to have me say anything in my or Tony's voice? I've got Dig Author, I've got Jordan Peterson, I've got Duke Nukem on here.
Oh my God.
The housing market. Yeah. Goblins earned that cereal. Yeah. You want to hear Tony say D's nuts? All right, here we go.
D's nuts.
What's your favorite movie that was made in Japan? Ooh, tough one. That would either be Welcome Back, Mr. McDonald, or Tampopo. Both of those are pretty good. Tampopo I would highly recommend, and Welcome Back, Mr. McDonald is also, it's Ragio no Jikan. That one's really, really good, but it's incredibly hard to find the DVD. It was only very briefly printed in the US, and it's very expensive. So if you were to find an alternative way to watch it, I would recommend that, because spending $100 on a DVD that some guy on the internet recommended you watch one time, whereas Tampopo, most digital streaming services have it for a $5 rental. It's a movie about a Ford Tempo with Tampopo. Yeah, no, Tampopo means, I think, dandelion, and it's about a woman trying to run a ramen shop. And a truck driver rides into town and helps her. So the joke is it's the first ramen western. So instead of a cowboy riding into town, it's just a truck driver, and he helps her make better ramen and then drives off into the sunset.
That's amazing.
But it's actually a really, really good comedy, and it's one of the first things Ken Watanabe was in. It's really, really good.
Oh, here's a question I can answer. Not to jinx it, but any ideas for 100K subs video or stream? The page is closing onto it. Well, here's the thing, is that every year for the last 4 years, Social Blade has said that it'll be 2 years until we hit. Every year for the last like 4 or 5 years, it's Social Blade has said that we'll get there in a year and a half. So then a year and a half goes by, and then it says, okay, at the rate you're going now, you'll get there in a year and a half, and then a year and a half goes by. So even though we're at 92,000 subscribers, it still says like we'll get there in a year and a half or 2 years. So in a year and a half or 2 years, we'll probably be at 93,000 subscribers. And then at that point, it'll be a year and a half or 2 years. So realistically, I'm not super worried about thinking about 100,000 subscriber special just yet, because it'll probably be 12 years out at this point in time. So that gives us a lot of brainstorming time, I think. Maybe I'll lament that on the Discord later as I post my pictures from cocktail bars. I had some Japanese subscribers. What are you doing?
What? Add some Japanese subscribers? Yeah. That would be really cool. What's really cool is if you start getting subscribers from other areas, it will start pushing them more and more. Like we actually had, there was a Korean subscriber in the chat last time. And I'd really, really like to check out Korea sometime. Korea seems really, really cool.
Jurassic Gamer says, I wanted to buy a 64DD just for display. Would it still be expensive? It'll be expensive no matter how you use it. And then they said, in Japan, to clarify, yes, it's expensive no matter where you buy it.
Yeah, I didn't even see one. I did not even see any... Oh, wait, no. I saw 2 of the Mario Artist games. That was it. I did not see Doshin. I did not see F-Zero X expansion. But I was in Akihabara. That was the only real place I got to shop for any games, which is the most picked-over spot. Yes, I am doing Duolingo before it's midnight, yes.
Yep.
I'm on like a 65-day streak, so I don't want to lose that.
All right, we should probably wrap it up because I'm getting a little tired here. But thank you, everybody, for joining. John, thank you for sharing all this with us. All this knowledge, all these recommendations, all this good stuff.
You want to do just like a rapid fire, like 5-minute Q&A?
That's kind of what we've been doing. I asked everyone if they had any final questions.
William Yasuminasai Biatches. Thank you.
But yeah, if anyone has any final questions, let me know. But I mean, I did ask that about like 5-10 minutes ago, and I think people knocked out some of their thoughts.
Yeah. I wish I had a better resource for like traveling if you're LGBT, because like I've got a lot of friends who had like a ton of questions about that, and I was like, sorry, there's nothing I can do to help. I'm sure
you could like Google it. I'm sure there are a lot of people that have done like blog posts and like articles and stuff.
Yeah,
like, I think there probably are some good resources.
It's got to be a lot better if you find like someone who actually lives there, because I find a lot of like blogs and articles and like little things like that just tend to be somebody who's like, well, I read some stuff and I'm interning at this company, so I'm just going to write this real quick.
Yeah, I'm sure there are some decent resources out there for that information. I'm just not sure exactly.
But it's probably more info about like living in Japan, like that. Which might be tough.
But it would still be useful if you're visiting. Mm-hmm. You could take some of the information and use it on your visit, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I would just say, like, unless you're absolutely sure you can bring a medicine, just don't bring that medicine.
Yeah.
So, like, if you are on HRT, I don't know, I'm not a medical professional, but you may just have to pause that for a moment while you're there. I don't know how tough that might be.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm just some guy on the internet. Probably half the things or more I say are just completely wrong.
Do some research.
Yeah, talk to your doctor.
Do some research before you decide to bring anything over borders, regardless. I think is always a good idea.
I would actually say Duolingo is not very good at helping you learn a language. It's just a good practice aid. So, like, I did a ton of it before I went there, and I got pretty good at understanding what people were responding to me with or asking me, but I had no idea how to respond. Because it doesn't really teach you, like, what's the correct way to respond to things. How does grammar really work? But because you start having enough of a vocabulary, you're like, that guy's asking me if I have my ticket. Yes, it's right here. That guy's asking me if he'd like to show me on a map where it is. Certainly, I'll pull out my map. But if they're like, how have you been enjoying your trip? You're just going to be like, You can feel those gears spinning, but they are not connecting at all. You're
Yeah,
just like,
there's nothing you have to offer.
I mean, there
respect.
are resources for self-study. Wani Kani is really good for kanji and stuff like that. But wait for a Black Friday deal and then get the subscription to it, which is kind of cool. That one will only let you pay for a subscription after you've used it enough, because they want you to know that it's worth it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's really, really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, team. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for watching, and we will catch you all next time. Have a good night,